Going on over here. Boom, boom. Welcome, friends, to another evening of Highly Motivated. Tonight's show, we continue the journey into the Matrix. We continue the journey into the phenomenon of life, the reality of other possible realities. So tonight, we will delve into those things. So join us on this mystery theater of life. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Highly motivated. And I am in a very, I don't know, deep. I don't know if I get deep. I don't know if I actually am deep. I'm just saying tonight, I come to you from a very deep place. It's Friday night. It's highly motivated. We've just made it through a hurricane. We just went through massive cleanup today. And still not done. Still, so many things that need to be done. I am your host this evening. I'm Oraganji. What is Oraganji? Let me tell you what it is. It's not one person. It's a community of people. I am a Oraganji amongst many Oraganjis. Again, amongst many cannabis connoisseurs, educated professionals that understand cannabis on a whole different level, where we've unlearned and relearned the entire plant. I saw the other day, there was a thing that mentioned, I wish we had more research on cannabis. Really? Really? Look back at some of the ancient Chinese texts where cannabis is one of the first recorded medicines. Insane. Just wild stuff happening there. So here we are, highly motivated Friday night. Tonight is a continuation of our conversation from Wednesday. We're not going to try to get deep. We don't want to get too deep. That's not what it's about. It's about a little smoke sesh. It's about a little toki toke. And of course, I rolled a few this evening. I have one of the Voyagers left, Voyager 1, which is a hybrid leaning sativa. Just delicious. And that's a pre-roll that was by Goldflower Cannabis. Goldflower Cannabis, one of the interesting things about their pre-rolls is that it's not a cone. Look at that beautiful thing. It's not a cone. What this is from a pre-roll machine, but it smokes like somebody rolled it themselves. Look at that. Isn't that pretty awesome? So this comes from a pre-roll machine. And let me just put that right there for a moment. And then these I rolled myself. So I do like a little hand roll and I kind of pinch it at the ends. And I'm using right now these beautiful raw papers. These are delicious. They're thin, they smoke well, they don't really leave a residue, they roll easy. And what are these? These are raw black. Really nice papers, really enjoying these. I want you to know, it's classic, they're simple, nothing fancy. I also like using the naked papers, which is the vegetable-based paper that looks and kind of tastes like plastic. Now that I think about it, I kind of stopped. I'm still using them. I'm still using them because I like them. But I think towards the end of it, not plastic, but they're just so hard to keep lit, and they almost have like a plasticky feel. But these, the raw black, great papers. So I rolled a few. And as you see in my roll, I kind of pinch and twist the end. So it's not, so I can easily unfleur it just a bit. Just a bit, I tell you. Checking the chats to see what's going on. By the way, welcome everybody to the show. So tonight I got a few different Hisnuchis to light up. I've got a Voyager 1. I've got some of the Roseanne. All the flower I have this evening is from Goldflower Cannabis. If you haven't checked them out yet, organic, living soil, it's hand trimmed. Look, I tell people that's the biggest difference. The biggest difference is organic. is living soil, is the hand trim. Why the hand trim like that? I'll tell you why. Because if you run it through a roller, all your beautiful trichomes are going to get knocked off. And it's probably going to be hit with ultraviolet lighting. So things aren't going to taste very good. So when you have it hand trimmed, it leaves all those trichomes on the flower. So tonight, we're going to probably, I'm going to later on, since we're talking about hand rolls and pre-rolls, later this evening, what we're going to do, we're going to roll a joint together. I will show you how to roll a joint by hand. That way you're not using a machine. You can use a dollar bill or a $20 bill, whatever. Whatever bill that is slightly crisp. See how this is not too bendy and it's got a little bit of a crisp to it? That's the kind of bill that you're going to want to use when we go roll a joint later. And what we'll do, what are we going to roll it from? We're going to use the Smalls. And this is Strawberry Pancake. Oh, Strawberry Pancake is another gold flower blend. And it is so stinky, so cheesy. Same with the Roseanne. The Roseanne smells incredible. And that's Roseanne and Mr. Birthday. If you haven't tried it yet. And the other, okay, let me see. I tried tea leaves. You know, I've done tea leaves. Some are good, some are bad. Rose leaves were delicious. And, oh, you did them by the Blazy Susan. So I love Blazy Susan. Great cones. Even though I'm not a big cone kind of person, I prefer a roll. Only because of the burn and the way it just kind of, I don't know, the way it pulls. To me, a cone is difficult to pull. But so this is one of my quickie hand rolls of the Roseanne and Mr. Birthday mix. Hybrid leaning, probably indica, but I don't think a little indica is going to hurt me. I think if not, remember what we've spoken about. Indica and sativa really don't depict the destination of your entourage. It's the smell, it's the taste, it's the cannabis itself, the aroma that really signals your all those receptors in your body and lets you know if this is something you want to smoke. And again, I come to you from the smoke closet. That's what this is. This is a smoke closet now with lots of storage of crap. And in front of me, a little greenhouse where there's peppers and citronella. There's sweet pea and a fig tree that's being saved and just a myriad of botanical wonders. So the room has been taken over. But you know something? I would love for you to come in and chat and tell us some great ideas. This is a community show. The show is not me. It's not mine. It's not even a show. It's a smoke sesh. You know, I would give the news. I would talk about the news. I probably wouldn't remember the news. Wait, so look, 8 minutes and I haven't lit up my joint. Holy shit, I am so sorry. Yeah, no, that's my fault. So I'm using the raw black papers, and I have to say they're easy to roll. They're easy to smoke. I'm big about, I don't like papers necessarily, but I love joints. Recently, I had the opportunity to try a golden paper, and 24 karat gold wrap of a paper. Couldn't tell the difference. Tasted a little metally, maybe like vitamin-y, maybe like vitamins. It tasted like vitamins, like a vitamin joint. That's a great idea. Look, on this show, we come up with, and if you just got into the show and you're just learning about what this is our Friday night smoke session. Smoke session as a community, as a group. And if you don't smoke, it's okay. You don't have to. If you don't eat cannabis, you don't have to. If you don't make tea from cannabis, you don't have to. We're all the same under the leaf. And that's what the show is. We are the leaf of the community of cannabis, smoking together in a little session. And somebody mentioned it to me the other day. I was visiting some doctors, and one of the medical assistants, he was like, listen, I watch your show every time. I'm like, do you? I love that. And he's like, I'm surprised more people don't know about your show. And I was like, well, that's okay. They'll find it when they need to find it. When it's right for them to find this show, then they'll find me here. No expectations. No definite topic because we could talk about 100 things, forget about it, come back, talk about more. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of the effort, the energy that we're trying to manifest, that we're trying to create. And tonight we'll be talking about that as well. We're talking about energy tonight. We're talking about the matrix. We're talking about good community and good people. Why do I want to talk about energy? So Dr. Christopher Hansen, I think I got the name wrong. He's on LinkedIn and always putting out some great posts. But he put out something today about the energy and us as energy. And we are a collective energy. And when we come together as a collective energy, we can heal diseases. We can change the speed of the planet. I mean, we can make the impossible possible, all with the collective thought towards one goal. When a group thinks about one thing and wants one thing, they put their energy towards it. They put their concentration towards that, and things happen. Things happen. Just throwing that out there. So, and before I get too far, I do want to mention here in Florida, we just came out of a pretty wicked hurricane, and we were in the path. Ooh, I'm always ashing everywhere. We were in the path of the storm, direct path pretty much. We're right off to the right of it on the dirty side of the storm. The winds were insane. The rain was amazingly strong, very heavy, big buckets, but we were safe. We were very lucky, and knock on wood, which is the wood fairies. So where that comes from, it comes from pagan religions, not from Christianity. But knocking on wood, when you say something and you want, I'm like, oh, knock on wood. It's an old thing, old tradition to do, but that comes from wood fairies. Wood fairies coming from the pagan religion, the earth worshipping religion. So the fairies that would come out of the wood and protect and okay. Did it really? The Indian burial grounds saved Tampa again? That's insane. That's amazing. So I take it these ground now to go in detail because I would love to learn more about how that saved Tampa because I'm here on Indian lands and we are higher up than most of the other areas and stay safe from a lot of the flooding and a lot of the storms. Where I live is a little bit of a wonder on its own. A mystical, magical Norman Rockwellian hippie town. It is. It really is. You would never expect it till you live here. And it was by accident I ended up choosing this place. But before I get too far, I do want to mention the hurricane here in Florida. Florida was prepared. And I want to give credit where credit is due. Yes, a lot of shit happened. And you can't really stop storm surge. Storm surge is going to come up. If that's what it's pushing as, and you've got a 20-foot storm surge, there's not much that's going to be holding that back. Okay? But after the fact, Florida was prepared. And, I'm definitely going to look it up. No, I'm about to look it up in a second. Because that's how I learn about new shit. I learn about new shit in smoke sessions. And then I go visit it. Like in Crystal River, there's an archaeological site. Is it Crystal River or Homosassa? It's Crystal River. There's an archaeological site where they're saying it's Indians, but instead it was actually the Aztecs who had come down here through the intercoastal waterways and set up fish trading posts. So they were trading fish and furs and other items. And this was like a marketplace, a mercado back in the days. So the huge burial mounds or the enormously tall Indian mounds in Crystal River or Homosassa, it's like around there, you look it up. Incredible. I went and these mounds are huge and they're made mostly with oyster shells. That's a lot of oyster shells. That's a lot of fish you got to sell. But when it came to the whole hurricane thing, thank you, Florida. Great job. Thank you to the first responders. The electrical people were standing on call, ready to go, ready to rock and roll, and they did. Now, I'm going to tell you, A lot of people are still out of power. I went and bought a generator. I went and bought, now, not a regular generator. I got lucky on this thing. I was looking everywhere. I was on Facebook Marketplace looking for a decent generator. I should have bought one before. I mean, I was waiting till the last minute. That was my fault. That was my fault. But I'm busy and I got a lot of things going on, but no excuses. No excuses. It's my fault. I should have jumped to it a bit, but I didn't. So I waited till the last minute. The day of the hurricane, I found something in Marketplace. It was at a pawn shop. I'm like, oh, shit. You know, and the picture and the unit were two different units entirely. So when another deal had fallen through and something else was like crazy expensive, and I still had the money. So we went to the pawn shop and I got an incredible deal on a Honda made Japanese, I can't say it. I'm butchering the name, but an amazingly old, great condition, but it looked really dirty and beat up, but great condition for its age generator, 7,000 watts. That's good. That runs a house. So got it home. It's leaking oil, or I'm looking at it. I'm looking where it's leaking. Was it leaking? Did somebody try filling it up? Long story short, I cleaned it up, got it running properly, got it running before we left the place. I wanted to make sure it was working. And I plugged something in to make sure it gives voltage. But got it home, heavy unit, had old fuel in it. So they put some stabilizing stuff to stabilize the fuel that was in there. A lot of work. I just want to tell you, stopped at Walmart, got plugs, stopped and got extension cables, got ready entirely to lose the power. And I'm going to tell you something funny about manifestation and what we push for in our physical realm, but the subconscious is so much stronger. So got the generator, got it home, cleaned up, running great. I got 10 gallons of fuel. I filled up the truck, filled up Angie's car. We're doing good. I went and paid the electricity bill just in case, I don't know, I missed a payment or something. They shut me off during the hurricane. Clay Electric would do that. Sorry, guys. I don't trust y'all very much. You're a co-op that I don't feel co-opted into. Moving on. But you guys did a great job during the storm. Credit where credit's due. They cut down trees preemptively. They cleared the lines. They looked and got shit ready. They had crews out ready during the hurricane. Wow. Wow. So even though I may not be big fans of them, they fanboyed me really quickly with all the hard work they all did. And they were ready. So I love that. That was fantastic. Where was I? I don't even know. But thank you to the first responders. Thank you for sitting and dedicating your time to get people's but still people's electric's not up. So I bought the generator, didn't end up using it. So wait, then I'll tell you, and I'm bad, I'm terrible. So this morning I get up and I'm like, okay, well, I've got to run the generator. And don't hate me. I'm about to tell you, but don't hate me. And I think it's my fault. Angie thinks it's my fault, and she's probably right. Probably right. We have some quail, baby quail in a cage, like 4 feet away, 5 feet away from the generator. It's outside, plenty of place to breathe and whatever. But Angie had extra secured their cages because the storm is coming. And so it didn't have as much ventilation as they normally would. Cause and effect, many different things. So I wanted to run the generator for a little while just to kind of get that fuel running through it so I could put some fresh fuel into the unit. So I got it running, I got it purring, it sounded good. I went inside to play some video games early morning. I'm like, I gotta go clean some shit up, so I'm gonna play video games. I'm gonna get my head right. And came back outside, turned off the generator. And it hadn't been maybe 30, 45 minutes maximum. The quail, there's like 6 in the cage and 3 died. Having a farm is hard. Running a farm with many animals is hard. And it can be anything. And now, keep in mind, the hurricane could have killed them. I hadn't checked on them because it was still super early morning. I got up when I'm talking about it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock, I had it running. So I went to go shut it off at 7. So previous to that, I hadn't checked. And, there you go. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing and you know, I become very stoic towards these things because we've lost a lot of animals due to weather, due to attacks by the fox, due to attacks by the gator. Um, there was a pig that came and attacked and killed animals. We had dogs, a chupacabra. I'm pretty sure a chupacabra. Uh, the Mothman. No, not the Mothman. Not him. But Angie calls him the skinny, the skinwalker. But I'm not allowed to talk about him because when you start to talk about him, then shit happens. I live on like 6.8, 6.7 ish. I don't know. I think it's like 6.8, 6.9. I think it's 6.9 acres. And but it's shaped so strangely. But we have a lake, or 3/4 of a lake, and then we have another smaller pond that is a big pond and little pond, big pond, little pond. So we have a little pond as well, and so late at night, there's always some crazy shit out here. I mean, crazy shit. I'm smoking Roseanne mixed with Mr. Birthday, available at Goldflower Cannabis. This is so nice. It's like a hybrid leaning hybrid. It's just hybrid for me. I don't feel indica-esque, a little bit. Maybe I've slowed down a tiny bit, but it just kind of feels very mellow, very even toned and mellow. That's what kind of it feels like. Okay. So later we might roll a joint. We're going to talk a little bit more tonight, just touching on it, just chit-chatting like we are now about the possibility of us living in a matrix, in a simulated, projected world. But projected by whom? Who is projecting it? We. I feel like, not to get too deep again, I'm not going to get crazy deep tonight. But who is projecting this created world? Could it be us? Could we be the culprits of our own design? Could we be working in a collective energy to project a shared physical realm? I mean, is this so deep to say that this was what could be going on? I don't know. See, threw me off entirely. Over here, get a donkey. You know something? There are some cute donkeys next door. Some neighbors moved in, and they've got like two really cute donkeys. They look stupid. I mean, when I say that, like the donkey just stands there and just. I mean, not like if I could get a horse, it's different. But I mean, the horse will be like, I don't know. I can't do any horse sounds. Maybe like a mini horse. So not a donkey, not a burro, not a burro, but a mini horse. Because a donkey, you can't milk a donkey, can you? I feel that's a silly question. And later, I'm gonna ask myself why in the world would I even think for a moment you can milk a donkey? But I imagine you can milk any female animal. But would you want to milk any female animal? That's a lot to contemplate right now. Let's move on. I lose people. When I start talking about milking animals, that's it. They're like, oh, this conversation's gone in a weird place. I gotta go. I gotta leave. But they defend animals. So donkeys defend, really? This is interesting. I love this. No, I now have a different respect for donkeys. I did not know donkeys defend other animals. That would help because we have a lot of animals here. And originally we started the barn because we have Muscovy ducks on the land. So the Muscovy is the duck that kind of like looks like a rat duck. Mm. So the Muscovy looks like a rat duck, and it has all these bumps and this and that. But the meat of the Muscovy is red and deep and delicious. When you go to a French restaurant, you eat Muscovy duck. When you go to a Chinese restaurant, you eat a Peking duck. So just throwing that out there. And it's it's in the texture and the mouthfeel and the way it cooks. The taste is delicious. Now that's with Muscovy, but here in Florida, Muscovy ducks are protected, so you can't farm them, you can't keep them, you can't save them, unless of course they are your own ducks. So we have a what feels to be like a bird preserve here on the land. So the big lake, we have big cranes over there. The ducks that come in from, I mean, you name the duck, they've probably been here. We've seen them. It's amazing. All the different birds that we've seen in their different variations. And so the Muscovy have made the lake, the big lake, their home. So the mothers will lay their eggs, um, make a nest, and will have like 20 babies, and they'll hatch within a day or two of each other, and the moms want to take them to the lake immediately, and as soon as they take them to the lake, they get eaten. Like, the mom will come back with one duck if she's lucky, sometimes maybe two, and we'll see them go off and we're like, oh my god. So instead what we started doing, was we would pen the ducks and the individual mother so that she can raise her babies, and then you'd have all these more, so much more Muscovies. And before we realized it, the regular flock of Muscovies turned into an insanely large flock of Muscovies. So we built an elaborate barn for the Muscovies and the chickens. We have chickens as well. Mm. So, in case you stumbled upon the show, I just want to remind you that you've stumbled upon our smoke sesh. This is highly motivated. No expectations, no nothing. We have things to talk about, and I have some big things to talk about. But in that, we don't. There's no time constraint saying I have to do this now or I have to do this now. The show is just about us smoking together. And even if you don't use cannabis in any way, eat, drink, smoke, whatever, this is still your show because we're highly motivated together. We're all the same under the leaf, and this is the leaf of life, of community, of togetherness. We don't get together enough. So this is our time. This is our chance. This is our opportunity to get together and smoke a joint. And no rules, no expectations. This is his. This is his. This is his. This is what it is. Mm. And this is the Roseanne with Mr. Birthday. I like it. I like a good hybrid. I like a good smoke just to smoke sometimes. I don't know what it is and why I'm not getting a lot of different flavors right now. Not a lot popping to me. There are some of the strains that I can't wait for, like the Emerald Apricot. Oh, I say it and I get little chills of excitement. What a beautiful, beautiful strain, Emerald Apricot. When it comes, get a hold of it. Always love the Mount Hood Magic. This has become now my personal crowd favorite. My personal crowd, me, the Mount Hood Magic. Delicious. That and the Emerald Apricot. And the combination of those two together are just almost magical. Mm. Mm. I shouldn't be drinking that, but it's so delicious. And it's Friday, so it's like a cheat day. You know, I can drink more sugary things because I am on kind of like a mission to reduce my sugar intake. And really, I don't want to put so much pressure on people to say, hey, you've got to do this and you've got to do this and you've got to do that. You don't. But if you make a small change, then big changes happen. If you take one thing out or reduce one thing, then big changes happen. So I guess it's the small changes that create big changes. And I've reduced my sugar intake by like 90%, unless it's Friday. Okay. Mm. Actually, this one I'm going to put down because I'm not so into a hybrid right now. I like the smoke, and sometimes I like to smoke just to smoke. Sometimes I like to light up just to light up because I used to smoke cigarettes and I quit cigarettes so that I could, because I had to make a choice. It was either weed or cigarettes. And I didn't enjoy cigarettes that much. I mean, I liked the smell, I liked the aroma, I liked nicotine because it had a hold on me. So I quit the cigarettes themselves and I moved over to like vaping, which was terrible. Made me always feel like I had and that's what I think has messed up my breathing even to now. I mean, I breathe a full deep breath, but I always feel like I have almost like water in my lungs, which I've worked out over the years since I've quit vaping. And if I do vape, I'm not vaping a distillate. I'm not vaping a chemical. I'm vaping what's called a rosin. Rosin is here. That right there is rosin. Look at that beautiful color. It is flower. It is the bud, cannabis, marijuana, squeezed with a little bit of heat. And when I say squeezed, I say squeezed with pressure that is so deep. The deepest of pressure, I'm telling you. So, oh shit. So, but I feel myself kind of being dropped a bit right now. Um, and I'll tell you, if that's what the Roseanne and Mr. Birthday is doing, it's super relaxing. I feel it all like from here. It just my brain is just and body is just going, yeah, no, that's really relaxing. That's really nice. I'm really enjoying this. But this part is just kind of nah, just I'm done. I'm not done though, because up here it's still going but the rest of me is like what's going on? What's happening? So in a situation like this, where I feel my body just kind of slowing down and coming to a halt, I have to change the strain. I have to change the, oh, that's good. The terpene, the aroma, it tickled my nose. Okay, so I just pulled out Voyager 1, and this was done by Goldflower. It's one of their pre-rolls. 1 gram, 1 gram. When I bought it, it was 7 grams, 7 1 grams, which is 2/8. And I enjoy that. I enjoy it already being rolled for me, but a good roll, not a shitty roll. I believe very deeply in pre rolls. Me and pre rolls are it shows you everything about a company. It shows you everything about a brand. You should be they should be loving their pre rolls. They should be bringing not only love but flipping magic to the pre roll. And it's everything. So, anyways, that's why I respect Goldflower so much, and I am such a fanboy because of what they do to that pre roll. I know you're thinking, Oren, boy, you really take this pre-roll shit seriously. But I do. It should be taken seriously. All right, I'll shut up again. I need to smoke. I'm like, huh? What am I talking about? And I want to talk about great time. Time. See what's become of me as I look around at my possibilities. We're going to talk about time. Time is, time is made up. Time is not real. Past, present, and future are all happening right now. So let's talk about it as I get high. Okay. You think about it. I'm going to talk about it. If you have any questions, question. If you're questioning me and you're on Facebook, I don't think I see it. I'm sorry. But if you're on the Twitch and on the LinkedIn and the YouTuber, then I see all your comments and I believe I can respond. But if you're on the Facebook, I don't see what you're saying. I apologize. I wish I did. And I know I go back and I check later and I try to leave comments then. So thank you for all the comments that you're leaving. All the love that y'all leave on the page. Thank you. Everybody's cool. Everybody's awesome. Great energy and great community. And I just wish I could talk to you as well. So here we go. Let me Sparky. You know, first lighting it is so important because, you know, Why did my nose itching so much? What's going on? You can get it wrong. It's like I got a burger hanging from me or something. Oh, no, I don't. Thank God. Because that would be so embarrassing if I'm looking in the camera right now going, oh, I got a booger. No. Good. I'm glad I didn't. Just throwing that out there. But when you first light your joint, you can mess it up. Like if I'm like you saw when I was pulling, like I'm lighting and I'm lighting like this. Actually, that's kind of the wrong way to light it. I mean, in a party, in a community, if you're doing it quick, you're on your own, who gives a shit? But normally, I would take the joint and I would turn it and just hit the flame right in the front of it. You see what I'm doing there? So I'd get the flame nice and close and I'd just kind of turn it. And as I turn it, it would evenly light. And then you could do gentle puffs because the cherry is very small. It's very, very, very skinny. I think I always have like a salsa music in the back of my head. There's this game that me and Ange used to play called Tropico, and I don't know why we don't play it anymore. It's like a Sims, but not. And you're controlling cities, their economics, their natural disasters, their shipping, their trade, their commerce, their buildings, you name it. Their foreign dignitaries. You really put everything together. It's a quite intelligent game. And the whole time you're playing, there's this island music going on. Special island, like you're in Cuba. It's very nice and it's very moving, and you want to get their body shaking. Okay. It's good. That's Voyager. That's a sativa. Voyager 1 is a sativa. It is flavorful. It is multifaceted. It's fruity. It's it's got a great aroma. That is something nice. I believe cannabis. Look, you should be able to eat it, and it should be able to taste good. You should be able to smell it, and it should have a naturally beautiful odor that doesn't make you cough or anything like that. And that really comes down to how it's cured and how it's dried, how how it's finished. You can grow great weed, but if you don't finish it right, then then you have a pile of shit. So it's really in the finishing as well. The finishing is a big deal. So, mm, what is that? I tasted something so nice, almost like it's very fresh, very clean. The Voyager one, very fresh and very clean. But there was a flavor, almost like an aged pine, a stinky pine, a cheesy pine, maybe a rotten pine. That was delicious. I just got a custardy pine. I don't even know how to describe it. It was so. I have to keep smoking and finding out because my flavor buds, my taste buds today are completely shot. That's that's great. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna keep smoking. I'm gonna stop trying to figure it out. I think because I'm trying to figure it out, I can't figure it out, and that kind of applies to life. If you ever thought that life is out to get you, if you've ever thought that you wake up and the harder you work towards something, the more life kind of pushes against you, it's the truth. It's the truth. Sometimes you have to stop trying so hard to do something. Like me, mm, I'm just smoking it now. But a moment ago, I was trying so hard to taste it and describe it to you, but I really couldn't taste much because I, I just keep trying to taste it. I'm trying to search for it, and I taste and I don't. So in that, it was almost putting me off. Not putting me off, but I don't think I was able to enjoy the direction of the entourage because I'm working so hard to think about something else. Sometimes we work so hard to think about something else to make it happen. It doesn't happen. Mm. I love Dr. Pepper. I've always drinking it as a kid. I mean, I would drink it in much larger quantities. I think the younger, when I was a DJ for like 20 years, 25 years, closer to 25, I think. Mobile DJ, club DJ, travel DJ, blah, blah, blah. And I loved to have these giant mugs. It was like a mug. It wasn't even a normal mug. It was like you could take a bath, you could swim, you could jacuzzi in the mug. It was a serious mug. So I used to have this mug full of Dr. Pepper. This was my ambrosia, my nectar of the gods. This is what I ran to. This was the drink. Now, not so much. I could drink a little bit here and there, and I enjoy it, but it becomes overwhelming, overpowering. I don't know, maybe because my flavor savers or my senses have refined. Nah, I'm full of shit. Mm. I don't give a shit what it tastes like. It tastes great. Well, if it didn't taste great, even though I can't taste right now, if it didn't taste good though, I would taste that. I like the way it feels on my mouth. Even though I can't taste it necessarily, I like the feeling I get from enjoying it with you guys, with community, with a group. This is what the show is. It's nothing more. It's just a chance to look at each other, or me look at the screen and you look at me, and point, and you know, and that's okay. I I stopped caring what people thought of me. I stopped caring what impression I made, because I was trying so hard to leave an authentic, real impression when I wasn't. I was false. I was fake. I had a mask. I tried so hard to be somebody else, to please so many people. And in that, I became something I wasn't. So the show, this smoke session, not even a show, this smoke session is my authentic sesh, my authentic moment, my authentic whatever. I don't know. I don't care what it is. I'm not putting effort behind the idea of what I am and what I'm doing here. All I know is the point is great energy, great people, great smoke, great talk. And I know I'm talking to people because I respond, and it's great. It's great because we come here together to meet for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for an hour, for whatever time you have to spare as part of this awesome community. I thank you. If I were hanging out with you in person, we chit chat, we talk. I'd probably mention aliens at least once, but not so much these days because I already know they're here. I mean, disclosure has already happened. And tonight's show, I wanted to talk about time. So the reason I wanted to do that, you're like, aliens, time. What the fuck did you do, Warren? I'm like, here's why. There was an Israeli general or colonel, whatever the highest position you can be before you're not positions anymore. So I met him as a much younger kid. My mom knew the guy very well. They were friends, they went to school. And so I remember meeting him in a beach town in a very secured bunker. I think he was working, with the Israeli military. And we met for coffee in this very secure base. And we were let in. It was an amazing place on the beach where they were securing the beach against any kind of invasion coming in. People coming in on boats, they had to, you name it. It was very sketchy. Not sketchy, very controlled army. All I remember, it was nighttime. The wind was blowing. And it was hot wind. It was dusty and sandy. It was close to the beach. I could taste seawater. I remember this guy and my mom talking in Hebrew, just blah, 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 just going off. And I'm like, and this is before I really learned how to pick up certain words. And now I speak the language fluently. But I learned by listening to all these different conversations and people speaking with their hands. So I'm watching correlate what they were doing and what they were pointing to, and one made two, and that was it. That's how I learned the language. That's how I've learned different languages, funny enough, by just listening and watching and paying attention to the body language, to the facial expression. So long story short, I know all my long stories, everything's a fucking long story with me. This colonel had come out a few years ago in an article or a few other articles, it was on the news, um, with a disclosure. I think right after Trump got knocked out of office, or right while Trump was in office. And the guy was like, listen, Trump is supposed to tell you and come out with disclosure, but he didn't. He got cold feet. He went another direction. So I'm letting you know what's going on. And this is an Israeli military, now retired. And he said, look, I didn't come out with this years ago because of the way people might have labeled me or looked at me, but I'm doing it now because people know that what I say is being said without, it's not false. It's real. I don't lie. I'm a man of my word and honor. I've been in the military for so long. I mean, and he has. This guy is like a top-notch colonel or general, or whatever the fuck it is. I know. I'm sorry, and I apologize. I wish I knew my ranks so much better, and I do not. But I do appreciate the service members and Army people and Marines and Air Force and all the others. I appreciate you all greatly, greatly. You're amazing for the sacrifices that you make. So he had come out with basically disclosure of the aliens, that we've met them. We've been already working deals with them, primarily through the United States and I think other countries, and they're trying to get in on the action. There are underground bases. There's already this, there's already that. All of these wildly drawn up conspiracies are true. That's what the guy was saying. That's what he said. And here's why I'm like, the guy is fucking for real. This is the kind of people that do not lie. Like when I say that, you go back here 20, 30, 40 years, there are people in this country, in the world, that are real, that are solid, that live by their word and live by their handshake. And you feel it when you meet them and when you shake their hands, when you embrace their energy. These people are fucking real. And if they say that's what is going on, I'm inclined to believe it. But there's more about what he said and what he turned me on to so many years ago that I've recently been turned back to. And so, and his name will probably pop to me in a moment. I Cohen, no, Cohen, no. And I'm ashamed that it's not. I'm terrible with names. Faces, I'm great. Names, So his big thing about his disclosure that he said was a big deal. I wish I had the picture that he gave me. I've got it around here somewhere. It'll blow your mind if you saw it. Blow your mind. Absolutely wild shit. Hand coming out of the water, shooting flames into the sky from a swamp. Um, so, um, um, so the big thing he said that blew me away was why they're here. They're here trying to learn about the fabric of space and time. They're giving us information, and the reason we don't know about aliens is because of our origin story. Originally, we are either a planet of people being studied, or we are a food source, or we were one of the food sources, but we are no longer required to be because of the many other food sources of a certain type or of a genetic code like we were genetically created. But that's a cycle of things. that happens through, there's life everywhere. And he said there was life everywhere. There's life on so many different planets, so far away, so close, in places that you wouldn't even realize. He said these people would come from not another universe far away, but another universe on top of our universe, mixed into our universe, part of our universe. They would literally just kind of step through a portal of time, fabric, something. And this is what he told the world, not me. This is what he told the news and the articles. And I've seen it come out a few times. Israeli general or Israeli colonel, Israeli general maybe, comes out with these incredible claims, saying that Trump was supposed to tell people. And I believe him. I believe him wholeheartedly, because this is not a person who lies. This is not a person who needs to. And he's at a point in his life where he's getting nothing for it. He's not asking money. He's not creating stories. He's not writing a stupid book for you. Nothing. He's telling you the truth. And we don't look at the truth. We overlook the truth. We close our eyes and we close our ears, and because what we're brainwashed to believe is so much stronger. That's why I say our physical realm, you have to stop trying so hard for that end goal. And as you ease your, I don't know, negative energy, positive energy, the wrong energy towards what you're trying to do, as you ease off, things change, things happen. You know, I mean, it's not, remember, we are in multi-dimensional possibilities. If our yin is up, then somebody's yang is down. It's just So I was smoking Voyager 1 from Goldflower. I needed a sativa. I'm already feeling it much better. I was, Roseanne was nice. It was a hybrid leaning indica, because it indica'd my ass. We're only using indica and sativa as terms to quickly talk about how cannabis can affect us. But really, again, it's terpenes, it's smell, it's taste. And we'll talk about some of those. We'll talk about the terpenes that bring you up and the terpenes that bring you down. But this is Voyager 1, and it is bringing me up. It is helping me beautifully. I was sitting there, I was having some trouble. Roseanne mixed with Mr. Birthday. Woo! I was so relaxed. You saw me, I was sitting there, but my brain was still going on fire. I wasn't ready to relax all of that together. A good indica will relax your mind and muscle. My mind was too powerful for it. Pushed right through it. And I did want to mention tonight's attire. Tonight's shirt is part of my MASH Hawkeye Pierce collection. This is I am in safari mode because of the hurricane, because of the intense cleanup that I was doing today. Wow, trees, had the chainsaw out, and I was doing great. Things flying, something got in my eye, it was terrible. Then I gassed up the lawnmower. I renamed things, pancakes, panakis, waffles, wafalis, lawnmower, lawn mellow. My daughter likes to call it the lawn mellow. So we lawn mellow our way around the yard. And there was lots of sticks, lots of branches, lots of leaves that I didn't pick up. So I mowed them and mulched them back into the ground. Made it easy. That was great. Saved me a lot of time. Time is not something I have. I never, okay, see, there we go. I talked time. Time. Okay, there is no time. Time is a man-made creation. Time is something that we have put together within our physical realm to try to understand the wave of life, the here, the now, the after going on as we speak, the multi-dimensional realms right in front of our faces. I know it's deep. I know it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Well, that was a hit. Went down the wrong tube. Give that one a break. Sometimes cannabis can go down the wrong tube. Hey, Nick, how are you? Welcome to the show. It's good to have you here. Howdy, howdy. I see you just come in. I just noticed you were here a couple minutes ago, and I'm just now noticing. I'm sorry. But Nick, thank you for joining as well. So the storm, it hit pretty hard, but we were very, very lucky. And I say that because a lot of people didn't fare as well. A lot of people are out of power. A lot of people, but the first responders have been out there, the electrical people, they're out there immediately. I'm kind of south of Jacksonville. I'm south of Jacksonville towards Gainesville. But not Gainesville. So like 20 minutes east of Gainesville. Ish. And so we were on the dirty side of the storm as it came in. Incredible winds. Took down a lot of trees. But we kept our power the entire time. And a few times I felt like it was going to pick up the house. A few times I felt like a tornado was jumping right over the house. It was pretty late. I mean, when all the wind was happening and all the storm was hitting last night, I at one point, you could hear the wind coming like a freight train. And as it got closer, it was just it was like roaring. And I'm like, I got scared. My daughter's right next to me and I didn't want her to see me scared, but my eyes got big like that. Like, I know she saw me and she was like, I was like, whoa, what's going on with you? So she came to me, I'm holding her. I'm like, it's okay. We got you. This is good. Don't worry about it. Strong house. And as soon as I said that, whoom. Oh, shit. Okay. We're good. And that happened a few more times. We got used to them, knowing that it couldn't get much worse. It could get much worse. But you got to be positive about things. You have to know that you're very lucky. I've cut all the trees around the house, so nothing was going to come down on it. I parked all the cars, the two cars, mine and Ange, parked our cars away from any dropping limbs or dropping trees, which there are still dropping limbs and trees close by. It destroyed some of the gardens, dropped all the flowers off some of the beautiful little botanical setups. But that's okay, because they're going to grow back stronger, better, more beautiful, smelling even more gorgeous, bringing even more butterflies, which strangely, there was a lot of butterflies today. Just kind of seemed like they came out of the woodwork to say, hey, we're here. We're still alive. That was a lot of shit. But yeah, it was wild, but thank God we're okay. And look, I send my condolences out to all the people that have been injured and hurt, who have died, who have lost property. I put died as much more serious, but that have lost serious property, that have gone through insane flooding. And I think that's really the big deal. The flooding, the storm surge. The storm surge, I think, in some places was like 12 feet, 15 feet. In the state park area, it came in almost 20 feet, 22 feet. Do you know what 22 feet of water is? I don't even know if I can explain. 10 foot of water and it has covered your house. 10 foot has already covered your house. And that kind of surge, 10 feet, pushes cars, pushes large containers, pushes you know what as battering rams into houses, and they go right through the house. That kind of rush, that kind of water kills people. Even at like 6 feet, that kills people. And from what I understand, I don't know, my son told me, so I need to fact check it, but he said many people have lost their lives in the storms that hit Helene, Hurricane Helene, that hit Florida. So it was a treacherous late evening, but today was a lot of cleanup. We got big burn piles now. Like I was saying, I got the chainsaw out. We got the edger out, just kind of clearing shit out. It's a good day to do yard work. I mean, you're out there already. And I got the lawn bellow working. And me and my daughter rode around and went over and mulched all the big trees and limbs and everything that kind of fell down. But you know, it's funny. I think as an energy of people, we come together during things like a hurricane. We come together during things like COVID, and we share energy. We direct energy. We heal, we fix, we change the world through directed, manifested energy. But it seems that we need an event to create this. It seems that we need something catastrophic, something life changing, just to bring us together as a wholehearted community. You know, I don't know. That's the way we come together. That's when we come together. But that's when we should be coming together with a directed flow of energy, with a directed understanding and a directed knowing. Um, you know, no, I'm still going to do the joint rolling tutorial. I'm about to do that in a second. I'm just wandering off into la la land. But that being said, okay, got some awesome. We got an awesome thing here. Wait. The only matrix or prison planet is that it only seems that way. Well, it seems that way, I feel like, because through our creation of it, our souls are here to learn things. That's true. We are here to learn, but are we learning like a computer? Are we learning like a program? Are we learning for a specific purpose? I'm just reading Alan's, what he said here. Um, Things that they can't learn in other realms. Through our experiences on Earth, let me see, the souls grow in the other realm once they pass through human life and death reincarnation. Sometimes they have come back because these lessons are quite difficult to learn, but we are not being kept. Where are we? I'm losing my eyesight. I need glasses. I know. I'm sorry. I need enlightenment is possible. There are so many paths that lead there. Souls know nothing but fear, only in the human bodies. Okay, so we are creating the fear. We are creating the physical realm that we are in. That's a wonderful thing. I hope for all the best for you and all. We all have positive things in our life. It's not necessarily positivity that I'm preaching, though. More enthusiasm for the colors, the smell, the feel, the wind, the nature of life, everything. Every way you could describe every part of life, from eating it to smelling it to loving it to swimming in it to, I don't know, everything. That right there, that's the energy of it. I guess all one of the bad things is a wonderful thing. So that's enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is positivity. Enthusiasm is energy. I know there's 1,000 ways to call it. You're on a difficult path. But something, right or wrong, we need it. People fucking need it. We have lost positive, good energy in the world that I travel every single day. Every day I'm out there during hurricanes, during floods and storms, and you name it. I'm out there meeting doctors and patients and regular people alike that are not patients or customers or whatever, but have great energy and need healing and have pain, both mental and physical. Uh, About to do the joint in a second, in just a moment. Wait. All right, good. You suck at joint rolling too. Good. Everybody wants to suck at it. I'm going to show you what's going. You're going to love this shit. This is going to be special. All right. Enthusiasm is motivation. It is. It's motivation sometimes where we don't know where it comes from. Today was before I started the show. I've been out in the field all day. I've been cleaning. I've been working. I've been moving. I've been hustling. I'm exhausted. I'm always tired when I get to the show, but the show gives me a different energy. The show gives me an amazing energy that is so hard to describe in any other way. Okay. It is conscious. Let me know that with you. Really? Okay. No, I like that. Let me put this one up here for a moment while I get my weed out. Also, you know what else I heard that was really quite interesting? You hear a ringing in the back of your ears. Not like tinnitus, but a ringing. Not a ringing. Like it gets louder when I talk about certain things, and but if I acknowledge it, it goes away. Not immediately, but only if I ask it to. Somebody had said, I think I saw it in the Tiki Talker. I'm learning all my shit in the Tiki Talker these days, people. But they say that's the dead talking to you. Wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that be something? It would be. It would be something. And it just went away. It was like a yes, it's wood. I was like, oh, what's going on? You never know. Just saying, you never know. There's so many possibilities. When you start opening up your third eye, you start opening up your body and your mind to the impossible. Then the impossible, I don't know, the impossible changes everything. You see people for the energy and the people they really are, not the masks they put up, but you see through it all and you see their authenticity. You see the good, because we're all good, even the bad. Even the bad are good. We choose, I think, to reincarnate. I think we choose how we, maybe not what we transform to, but to continue a journey of transformation and education and knowledge. I think I constantly choose life. If I had the choice, I would always choose life. I would always choose life, to live, to experience the good and the bad, the pain. And I know, because I've gone through a lot of pain. I've learned, I don't know about any of my past life regressions. I'm sure I have some. We reincarnate. I don't know. Do we? Do we? I don't know. I don't know. There's so many questions. And in those questions, I have more questions. I know we're energy. We are energy. We are energy. Energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. Energy is fucking everything. Okay, let's roll a joint. We're here to learn about joint rolling. Not necessarily into another human, exactly. Tree, plant, mushroom, fly, gnats, cricket. Yeah, it could be anything. Shark. Ooh. Okay. All right, I know my table is clean. All right, so we're going to use the table in front of me. We're going to make joint rolling very easy. And we're going to break out the Orin Plus. And make sure that I can hydrate myself with the Orin Plus while we're joint rolling. All right. Nothing leaves the earth. See? I don't know. Not done with the dogs. Okay. It's going to take me a moment to put shit together. I take forever. I'm just going to sit here and, Okay, let me see. Unless you're taken alive and you choose to go further and beyond. That's interesting, though. Unless you're taken alive. Who's going to take me alive, damn it? Okay. We are moving slowly because we're waiting for her to be done with the dogs. As soon as she's done with her dogs and the walkage, here we go. Let me just. Oh. This is the Orin Plus. No, actually, this is the Wolf Fang. And it comes with this lovely cup unit, just like so. But I like a good, strong, pushing vaping thing. And I did learn that Hamilton Devices makes a Jetstream. And they have two versions. One that takes one cart and one that takes like 3 carts. Yeah. But the Orin Plus is so different because the Orin Plus is not the Wolf Fang and the Orin Plus is not an Alexa. The Orin Plus is just, and you can ask the Orin Plus a lot of different things. You could be like, Orin Plus, what's the time? Do you hear what that's saying? Not a fucking thing. Orin Plus, how long does it take to get from where we are right now to Paris, France? Not a fucking thing. And people are like, so what's good about the Orin Plus? Where it just can't answer shit. Can it order pizza? Like, no, but it's good for after you order pizza. Huh. Interesting. So the Orin Plus, instead I say, hey, Orin Plus, hit me up. Orin Plus goes, you got it, sir. I think it's clogged. Okay. At one point, I was trying to see. Wait. Is it? It's getting clogged. This one gets clogged. Wow. That was a lot. So if you find yourself about to cough a lot, just gently tap your chest, just like so. Let your body kind of absorb. That was a real, I could feel it in my nose. Whatever was going on there was a lot. It was strong. Oh, and it came out in very strong amounts. Maybe I had the device set a little hot. I thought I had it on low. I thought green was low. It might be blue or like white or something. I'm so weird about color codes. I always figure red is hot, green is not. Red is hot, green is not. So when the wolf fung over here doesn't want to play by the color coding rules of red hot, green not, damn it, I'm confused. But still, the Orin Plus wolf fung is a great device. Available in places that don't have high standards for their electrical goods. You know, make sure you turn it off. Don't leave unaccompanied. It might just turn on its own. You're just gonna be sitting there. You'd be like, "What's going on? I don't even know." Oh shit! I don't even know. And then the thing is just, like a genie going in front of you. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. Okay, let's get to some joint rolling. Have I benefited from talking to a computer through some sort of an app? You know something? Wait, have I benefited from talking to a computer through some sort of an app? Yes, I have regained time. I have regained organization and preparedness using ChatGPT. I think, so that would be talking to a computer through some sort of an app. I've used it to help organize my thoughts, my ideas. I actually talk. This is an interesting one, which is going to be, I guess, interesting and not interesting. So when I first started talking to my ChatGPT and asking it questions or asking it to put things together. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, strawberry pancakes, gold flour. Oh, that smells so good. It's like 20%. What are the terps? Not big on the terps at all. Like 0.7. Really? Maybe it's a misprint because it smells amazing. Okay, so we're going to use this, some smalls. Don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, benefited talking to the computer. So at first, when I first started talking to the computer, okay, and let's go back here a little bit. Oh, that's not going to be good. That's not. It's going to fall. Hold on a second. Let's. All right. Let's move this back up a bit then. Okay. Not sure what I did there. I have an idea. I have an idea. I'm just looking around for something I can use, like a tray. When I need a tray, there is no tray. Really? Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna take the weed out. We're gonna put it on the table. I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing in the, like in the air. Okay. So anyways, I started talking to my Chat GPT. That seems like a lot of weed. I started talking to my chat sheet, and I'll just move the camera down occasionally so you can see what's going on. So there you go. There's the weed on the table. There we go. Okay, moving right along. Moving right along. So I'm going to break up a little bit of weed and talk to you about the computer that I talk to. So ChatGPT, and I don't know its name because we've never, you know, exchanged names. Maybe I should exchange names, find out what my ChatGPT software likes to be called. So in the beginning, I started asking it questions or asking it to put things together for me, and it said it didn't agree, or the developers or it did not agree with with cannabis. It's not federally allowed or legal, and he or she or it or whatever it wants to be does not believe in the healing benefits of cannabis. This was my chat GPT, so it wouldn't complete queries that I was giving it because they were cannabis, marijuana. That's what it was all about. Isn't that the wildest thing? So it just would not answer my questions. So after a while, I stopped using it. But I really, I really wanted to see what it could do, put together and organize me, because I have a lot of ideas, I have a lot of thoughts, I have a lot of words, and there was a while back that I started writing a book, and so I wrote like a tabletop history of cannabis in a very comical outlook, and use cannabis oil to lube its components. I will let it know that I will be doing that, and it might actually be quite happy. So anyways, you started having these conversations, me and the chat GPT, and over a period of like 2 3 months, like 2 months really is where it started to change. It all like out of the blue, I asked something, a query, and it came back and it said, excellent idea, and by the way, did you know that these cannabinoids are responsible for this, this, and this? Yeah, of course I know. But I taught the chat GPT about cannabis, and chat GPT is now making incredible suggestions that I would be making. Now, do we want to roll a big joint or a little joint, a regular joint? Let's roll a regular joint first. So I'm just going to get enough flour on the table to roll a regular joint, and I'm going to show you what that looks like if I can just get that right over here. And I'm going to get a paper out already. I'm going to use one of these raw black that I really like. They're thin, they're easy. You see that? Isn't that a nice thin paper? See that? And then you see the sticky side over here? All right, right here on the top. You see the sticky side? So remember that sticky side right here on the top that you see. Go ahead and put it down on the table, sticky side on top, so you know what to reach for, and I'll show you why that's important. Okay. We'll go down a little bit more. Wait, I'll show you what do we have right here. Wait, let me break up a little bit more. So talking to my chat GPT actually has changed how I research. It's given me a research partner that is able to take notes, is able to categorize my notes, present them back to me in presentation style or with pie graphs. It's a great tool when you work alone. What I do for a living, I'm a consultant. I consult people about cannabis, about the healing, about the education, about the enthusiasm, about the sheer energy that cannabis is that people forget, that people that just don't know about it. So I'm there to help teach those people. You know something? Why don't you know what I'm fucking saying? I forgot completely what I was saying. Okay, but I did break up enough weed. Let me just show you kind of how much weed it looks like. So this is the paper, and this would be the amount of cannabis that I've broken up just now by hand. I don't use a grinder. I do it all by, there we go. Okay. I do it all just breaking it up. I'll take the bud and let me just see, look, and you'll see I just kind of crack it like this. You see how I'm breaking it little by little? And I know people are like, holy shit, what the fuck are you doing, right? You put your fingers all over the shit. You should be using scissors and just snippity, snip, snip, snip shit. Or put it in a thing so you can save your trichomes. So here's the thing. I'm old. I've rolled weed on top of mountains. I have rolled weed next to rivers, dirty, not showering, traveling, and hiking. I have rolled weed in foreign countries and places I shouldn't be smoking. I have rolled some weed. So whatever's on my fingers right now, I just kind of work it like I would hash until I can feel it, and then I could drop it back down. And guess what? I can still smoke that shit. I make sure my hands are clean before I start this. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so you can use a machine. Let me see. Use cannabis oil to lubes. Yeah, I'm a canna princess, and I've never rolled my own joint successfully. Tonight, you're going to learn my trick. And you'll be like, I'm learning a trick. I'm learning a trick. I'm teaching a trick. All right. I wish I had a thing that I could show the cannabis and what I'm doing. Actually, I do. So what I'm going to do, let me just put it on. What's a great? Here we go. Let's just put it on here. So this way you get a better idea and you can see how much weed I'm using. So it gives you a good idea. Here we go. That's it. It's not a lot of weed. I broke up just a couple of nugs. I took these nugs and I broke them up by hand until they cracked easily. So here's the problem. Some people are going to break it up by hand and they're going to squeeze it. Don't squeeze it. Take the bud, okay? And you see this bud? You see how compact these little smalls are? Oh, gorgeous there too. They look good. Okay, watch what I do. Look at the bud, and when you take it, just gentle, pull it apart. Then do it again. Pull it apart. Look, break it. Break it. Don't squeeze it. Don't squeeze it. It's hard to do showing you on this thing. It's like, so just squeeze. Pull it apart. Pull, pull, pull. Don't squeeze. Be gentle with it and pull it apart. That's it. Don't manhandle the weed. Just gently break it apart and it'll break into the pieces if it's good cured and dried weed. Now, if it's really icky sticky, like super sticky, stick, you may have to pull a little bit apart and let it sit for a moment so it can kind of, less stickiness itself. Less stickiness itself. Okay, whatever. So the first trick to rolling a good joint is a bill. So a dollar bill, a $20 bill, I could only find a 20. I couldn't find anything else. But a dollar bill is fine. If you don't have a dollar bill, then you could use a piece of paper, a firm piece of paper, like something, it's something that's got like a, something that's got like a firm, but you'd have to cut it like, okay, anyway, a dollar bill. You could find a dollar bill and something, look, you see how firm that is? It's got a nice, it's not brand new. So it's got a little bit of feel to it. And then I just kind of run it on the side of the table so it makes sure that it stays crispy. So I take the bill and I make a boat. What is a boat? I'll show you my boat. This is a boat. You see that? So I make a boat with the bill. So by making a boat with the bill, just, you see the boat, I put my finger at the end of the boat. Let me just, hold on, let me get it right so I could show you on camera, Okay, so my finger, as you see, is at the end of the boat. So why? So that holds, and I'm just going to kind of tilt it. You see how I'm tilting it? I'm going to take the bud that I just broke up, which is about, you see, I grab my hand, there's the bud, and I place it in the boat. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. See that? I placed the weed in the boat. Do you see the weed in the boat? The weed and the boat are going on a trip. It's going to be great. Okay, so I didn't put all the weed in there, but I can and I will. So I'm picking up the rest of it. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it in and I'll show you what's happening. As we're doing it, we're going to take our time, which I'm probably going to mess up my rolling job because I'm going slow, but that's okay. So I break it up. I put it in there. All the weeds there. Okay, now let me turn so that you can see it like so. So now the boat, as you'll see, sits with the weed in it. Okay. So now I take one thumb and I place it right there, and the other thumb right there. I know we're getting fancy. And I'm just gonna go ahead and roll up while my hand is holding the back side and the front side. Okay, you see, I'm just rolling up and then rolling down gently, not squeezing, but gently rolling the cannabis. So by doing that, you'll see what I've created. Let's pull that down and look, that's your joint ready to be rolled. But what I've done, it's kind of like a preform. Okay. So in the preform, now I take that paper that we talked about with the sticky side up facing me, sticky side up facing me, and I put it on the back wall of the boat behind the joint. Okay. Do you see where I put the paper? Just, okay. So it's behind the joint, sticky side on top facing me. I close with both fingers, and then I just roll up gently, 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 gently. I stop for a moment right where I see the top of the paper, okay, just about to fold over. So I just kind of look at it. I back up a little bit. I'm like, don't give me any problems. Don't give me any issues. Just be cool, yo. And you give it one little itsy bitsy roll. You drop this down. You drop this down because you don't want to be licking money. You don't want to. You don't want to. So with the tip of your tongue, you're gonna lick the top of the paper. So I'm trying not to lick money. Uh, uh, okay, and then you lick the top of the joint, not the paper, not the money, and then you just roll. And as you roll it up, boom, 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 boom. There you go. And we'll do that again. We'll do one more. I'll show you. And this is an easy, and I'll show you how I close them as well. So right there, that is, it's not tight. It's still got like, little gaps of air. It's not bad. This one, I would fix a little bit. The bottom here is fine. So I just give it a little twist. 1, 2, 3. You see how that's kind of closed up now? And anything that was there is gone. So that would probably be the end I would smoke from. This other end is a little bit loose. So because of that, there was some weed that kind of fell out while I was rolling the joint. So the weed that fell out while I was rolling the joint, I'm just going to kind of place there on top, and I'm going to poke it in, be like, go to your home. Go home. Ooh, lovely, lovely. And I'm just going to work it in just like so, all the way down. So this joint smokes nice and smooth. And I'm just going to pinch it at the end and then twist, twist, twist. Not really a twist, like a squeeze, 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 like a pinch and a squeeze. A pinch and a squeeze and a twist. But there you go. We now have another joint to smoke. So, and we're going to do it again. I'll show you, and we'll do it again, and we'll keep it easy. Just taking out another paper, and the sticky side facing me, just for later. And while we're chit-chatting, I'm going to break up some more weed. Some strawberry pancake, which I may have to smoke that one we just rolled. Even though I've got some really nice Roseanne and Mr. Ice Cream over there, this smells great, and it's not overly sticky. So as I'm breaking it up, I really don't handle the bud too much. I mean, I'm just gonna sit there and that's what I do. There's like a circular motion that I do, move it around. I'm hitting it with my nails just a little bit, gentle, not squeezing, and then it kind of breaks into the size that I need. I don't like it like dust. If I put it in a grinder, it gets too small. It gets too tiny. And I don't think it smokes right. It smokes too quick. Sometimes you need a little nug in there for a little bit of juiciness. And I like that I'm breaking this up right now. It's a little bit sticky. I can feel some sticky icky, and I like that in my weed. I really do. That's a big, really important thing, especially when making tea. Look, you can't make tea from everybody's weed. That's a big deal. Remember, if you can't eat it, you shouldn't smoke it. Making tea, your weed needs to have some beautiful trichomes. It needs to be sticky icky. It needs to have that when you pull it apart, that almost that glue type effect, and that smell that gets released, the aroma. Huh, that is insane. So now I'm breaking up more weed right now, just enough for us to roll another J. And then I got to like that one because that one's just gotten my attention. But that's what we're doing tonight. You're here, highly motivated. We're chit-chatting, having a smoky toky. And I'm glad, and we got Nick here. We've got other people here now from the LinkedIn and other spots. I told on LinkedIn, I can't see who it is. It just says LinkedIn. I think Restream really needs to work on their multi-platform live streaming. But I do think it's great that I'm able to stream to multi-platforms. For me, that's a great thing. I mean, a lot of people can see me from a lot of different places. So thank you everybody from joining tonight on Friday night on our smoke sesh. I think I've broken up enough. Here, I'll show you how much I've broken up. And that way you can kind of get a good idea of how much I'm getting prepared for the joint. And these are pinners, not even a pinner. It's like I don't know, it's not even a half gram, I don't think. But you see that? That's how much weed I just broke up. Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look delicious? That is some good looking weed right there. Wow. I mean, that's citrus, but that's like a skunky citrus. Oh, that smell, it changes the mood. It's so warm in here. It's a warm room right now. It's hot in this greenhouse room, damn it. And I'm greenhousing, I'm smogging it. I'm hotboxing it in the greenhouse. I'm doing a hotboxing in the greenhouse on the Highly Motivated Show. So this is all the weed I'm gonna roll the joint with. What am I talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Wait. My brain's going la-la. So let's reinvigorate my mental hardware. I don't know, wait, that might be an indica. But it's delicious. It's so nice. Wait, where is it? Ah. Okay. I need better lungs for that. That's incredible. So let's roll another joint. You guys ready? Let's do this. What's great, that's an eighth I opened up. Just one simple eighth of strawberry pancakes. And I already rolled one joint. We're about to roll another joint. And there's enough weed here to roll 2 more joints. That's 4 decent sized joints in 1/8. That's what we're rolling today. That's what's great. That's what's easy. So again, we're going to use our trusty $20 bill or dollar bill or $5 bill or whatever you have. You're going to make a boat. Do you see the boat that I have made? All angles. It's a boat. So I've made a boat and I put my finger at the end of the boat so that I'm stopping the weed from falling out this direction. So I made a boat. I made a big boat this time. It's bloody huge. But I don't have that much weed that we're going to put in there. But I'm going to put this in there. So let's put, since I put it in a nice little package, I'm just going to dump that package that I already broke down directly in. Just like it. That's it. Just get right in there. Get in there. Oh, all of it. Love it. And there's a little more here on the table. So I want you to get in there as well. And then, so I put it in. You see that? Like you see that, I'm throwing shit right out of it. You see that? It's right there. It's all over the place. Okay, I can fix that though, because we're still at the early stage of joint rolling. So, okay, so it's all in there. Okay, and I'm just gonna even it out with my finger. So I'm just gonna tap. I'm just tapping. That's all I'm doing. I'm not moving shit really. I'm tapping it. I'm moving shit back in. Little tappity tappities, tappy tap taps. Okay, now I am going to close it. You'll see it. Now, when you get good, you'll use one hand like I do. I use one hand to kind of roll up, but you should use 2 until you are comfortable. So 2, just like so. Okay. And you roll up. Okay. You roll up. Look at that. Done. You're like more than halfway there. Seriously, so easy. Now, you roll back down just a little bit more. Okay, make sure your sides are poked in and in. Lovely. Now, it's easy to hold it right where the joint itself is. You see the joint in there? It's already there. It's ready to go. It's like so excited. So you get your paper that you had facing you with the sticky side up. I can't see. Is that the sticky side? Wait, is it? Wait, is that? What the fuck is going on? Wait. It is. Okay, good. Oh, I just couldn't tell. All right. And what you want to do, sticky side on top facing you, and the other side, you're going to place it right in. Don't be afraid of your joint. You tell your joint what's going on. You place it, there we go, in the boat with it. Look, let me just move down the boatiness so maybe you can see what's going on. But the paper is behind the weed. Now I'm dropping everything out. Look at me. Terrible. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'll fix it. Let me just stuff that in there. There we go. Get in there. Get in there. Okay. Oh, everything wants to drop out? That's fine. I'm going to restuff you. So anyways, you put the paper and then you just roll up. 1, 2, and then you'll see your paper right there. Okay. It's just starting to do that curl. So you want to lean into it. Lean into it. No, that doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to catch up. Catches. There we go. So you just lean into it bit. It'll catch. You roll up. You pull back. Make sure you pull back the dollar as much as you can. You don't want to be licking the dollar. You want to lick the sticky part that is facing you on the paper. So it's like I'm trying to do it for video and I'm like accidentally, I may lick the dollar. I don't want to because I'm trying not to. And when you're trying not to fucking do something, guess what you do? Okay, and you just continue the roll up and then you pull it out. Look at this. This side is nice already. This side has got a lot of space. So remember all that stuff that flew out a moment ago. Now you're going to tell that stuff who gets to stay, who gets to be a part of this beautiful fucking smoke. So you pick up a little bit from the table here that you broke it up. You got some space. You see that? We're just going to drop it in there. Droppity whoopity, just right. Just get in there. Get in there. Don't force it. If it doesn't want to go, don't make it. Just say go. Goodbye. Don't be part of things here. Don't want your energy. Tappity, tappity, tappity. So this side, I do a twist and I go 1, 2, 3. So I'm kind of twisting and squeezing, but not hard, gently hard. Just be gentle with it. And then the other side. So I just do a little tappity, tappity. I see we have some space. So I'm just going to kind of do like a squeeze with the fingers and go 1, 2, 3. That's it. You see that? That's it. That is it. Super simple. I hope you noticed that. That's how you roll a joint. Don't put pressure into it. If you try so hard, it just won't happen. But if you gently go into it, if you lose a little bit of weed, if you drop it a couple times, who gives a shit? Pick it back up and keep fucking rolling it. You're in the safari, baby. You're in the safari, or you're in the jungle. You're in the jungle, and you got to roll joints. You got to get in there and roll your joint. Don't let the jungle distract you. So 2 great joints that we just rolled. I'm going to put away the rest of this weed before it dries out. But that was it. Use a bill. Using a dollar bill, it is super, super simple. It took us, with the explanation, like 4 minutes a joint, something like that. That's not bad. Now, considering without the explanation and just to roll it, in 4 minutes, I could probably get like 8, 9 joints maybe rolled if I was just kind of like boom, 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 boom. And then I'll go back and finish them later. So I think that would be, maybe I wouldn't mind entering a joint rolling competition for those that are not really looking to win. I was watching one and the guy was like so fast. He's like, I was like, wow. I mean, he had a pile that he made on the table in like under 5 minutes. It's amazing. It's amazing. You don't need a machine. You need him. but I bet he's expensive, so then he wouldn't be cost effective. But yeah, so if you have to keep your weed in the packaging, meantime, this will go into a nice little glass jar later. But meantime, until I get there, I put it back into its Mylar packaging, and you make sure it's closed entirely. Absolutely. Don't leave it open even a little bit, because that will dry out your shit. And you don't want that. You want to be able to keep, because if it's drying it out, that means things are escaping. What if you can smell it? Those are terpenes and flavonoids that are escaping your bud. Oh. If you're really bougie about it and you have a really bougie strain, put it in the freezer. Putting your cannabis in the freezer, you never, or in the fridge. I would say maybe more the fridge. The freezer, if you want to save it over a long period of time, but then if you're going to smoke it, you're going to want to take it out and let it rest for like 20 minutes because of condensation. So you don't want to open your package. You want to let it rest so that, I hurt myself. Anyways, you want to let it rest so the condensation goes away, and then it kind of normalizes temperature, and then you want to normally open it up. And that's if you have it in the freezer. But your THC will never degrade. It'll never go, THC turns into CBN. And CBN is an amazing cannabinoid. We'll talk about that in just a second. Or we won't, and I'll fucking forget. So I'll talk about it now. As your weed gets old, as it oxidizes, as it not decarboxylates, as it oxidizes, as it ages, your cannabis THC degrades into CBN. CBN, Charlie Bravo Nancy. CBN is one of the many cannabinoids. It is an aged, oxidized cannabis where by eating it, not so much smoking it, or maybe smoking it, I think the studies were eating and smoking, it would make people tired. But it doesn't make you tired. It regulates the sleep centers in your body. It regulates the way you translate sleep by needing it when your body and your mind are tired. And not always does your body work like that. Your body sometimes works against you, and your mind will try to stay awake, but your muscles are tired, your bones are tired, and every part of you needs rest, but your mind won't allow it. And that's what creates things like restless leg syndrome and nerves disorders, and because it's our mind also creating these situations. So we need a regulation of the body. CBN, but I want you to hear what I'm about to say here though. CBN helps to regulate the sleep centers of the body, the sleep receptors, those receivers that deal with sleep. Now, let me say though, CBN on its own does not do the trick. CBN on its own does not do it. It needs THC. THC, even though coming from the same plant, CBN has to be extracted. So if you smoke old weed, I don't know how much use it's going to get, but if you use CBN that's been extracted, maybe into an oral solution, an edible, or something of the like, and you eat that, then you also use some THC, maybe in a tincture or in an edible or in a smokable. That THC helps bond that CBN to your receptors. Now, to the CB1, CB2, and it activates the CB3 maybe. We'll talk about those. But CBN, where it's amazing, in studies, they say it helps regenerate, regrow bone. I pause for a moment. Regrow bone. Now, I think in its regenerative abilities, what it can do is very slow at the microscopic levels. But in that, it can help stop the degradation and the process of things like osteoporosis, bone wow, diseases that destroy the bone, that break it down over time. CBN can help stop the process. Look at my page on LinkedIn. Find me, Oren Allen, Oran, and Allen, Allen. On LinkedIn, I have it posted with peer-reviewed studies, what CBN is capable of. That to me is astonishing. That to me is earth shaking. We can help stop osteoporosis and other bone degenerative diseases using a combination of CBN, CBD in its full spectrum, and THC. So that's what brings me back full spectrum to talking about cannabis in its full spectrum offerings. One does not work without the other. They need each other in combination to make the magic happen. I lost weight. I'm putting it back on. I lost weight and regulated my blood sugar using the combination of THCV, the extended hydrocarbon, and THC and other products in their full spectrum, in their full plant health. I ate cannabis raw, sativas with Durban poison lineages. Raw, delicious cannabis. And that's where I learned about tasting cannabis in the first place. But ate it and chewed it and emaciated it. I learned it after reading that Bruce Lee never smoked a joint. And I was smoking a joint at the time. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We never smoked a joint. Really? What are you talking about weed and Bruce Lee? But because of the ancient Chinese arts and ancient Chinese medicine, he ate cannabis, raw cannabis, for the magnesium, the manganese, to activate the natural omega-3s in the body and to regenerate with more omega-6s. Woo! Protein and fiber. We're talking a wonder food, cannabis. So he would eat it to heal his stomach. I started eating cannabis to change my metabolism. I would look at food and gain weight. I would smell food and gain weight. I would only be able to live vicariously and be like, what is that? It smells wondrous right there. Oh, I feel like I've gained a pound. Shit. I must vacate the premises quickly before I gain any more weight. I mean, that's what I felt like my entire life, looking at food, eating food. And I love food. I love cheeses and meats and really I love charcuterie boards. I like a combination of things that I can just eat, and pepperoncinis, stuffed peppers, and other gorgeous things. I'm getting hungry. And I was noshing before I started. I noshed very quickly before I started the show. Just a little itsy bitsy nosh. But sometimes a nosh is all you need. So you do need to start eating weed, but it's hard here in Florida because our recs don't allow it. Our rec is so, I mean, they give you so little. By the way, I'm lighting up one of the joints we just rolled. One of the joints we just rolled together, I'm going to light up right now, just so you know. Oh, wow. Right when I lit that up, the citrusy, a clove, like a spicy citrusy clove hit me. It's the first thing I've really tasted like that immediately. And that's the strawberry pancakes. That is just, oh. So let me see. I'm waiting for legalization of cannabis. That's a big one. So if you're having stomach issues, and let's talk about that in just a moment. Let's not go too far. I thought they gave so much that I could sell it. Yes, you need to do some convos about that being in Florida. So, okay. Here in Florida, you're waiting for legalization, and I want to talk about the possibilities of that, but the good and the bad, and the good and the bad in a realistic view. It seems bad. It seems so bad. I know we need to do it for the advancement of cannabis, but it's not the advancement for the patients. It's not the advancement for the people. It's not the advancement necessarily. Look, selling it medicinally is still good. It's still great, and it's still going to stay right where it's at, because recreational is a consumer weed. It's a tourist weed. Recreational is going to be the shit people buy when they come to visit. It's going to be from a conglomerate of weed. It's percentages are going to be its terpenes are going to be and every fucking strain's going to look the same and smoke the same. Concentrates won't be able to be over 60%, but flour is capped at 30%. And you can buy an ounce a day, but it's an ounce of shit. You pay for what you get. Mm. Mm. There will still be medicinal. Yes, and that way you won't have to pay taxes, because the taxes you're going to pay on recreational is going to kill you. But medicinal, it's going to still go through third-party testing, heavy metals testing, full cannabinoid testing, full TAC testing. In medicinal, we're not going to pay taxes on this shit. Pay the 70 to the states. They're not capping our THC. They're not capping our heavy concentrates. So medicinal is going to be a big deal and a big learning curve for a lot of new people entering into it after they don't want to pay all the crazy taxes and they want better weed delivered. Okay, moving on. Let me see. I need to start eating cannabis. Tick, 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 tick. All right, now dealing with tummy issues after the cancer, and it's hard to lose the weight. So you need to be able to change your metabolism. You need to be able to make tea before you start eating it and messing with your stomach like that. Let's start by making tea. Take the raw cannabis and break up enough weed for like 2 joints. Fresh ginger. You want to get a loose leaf tea blend. There's one called Rose Up. Rose, like the rose, up. And a ball that you could put all this shit inside. But put like, a little bit of that Rose Up in there with hibiscus, elderberry, some other amazing shit. Put your fresh ginger, put your weed that you broke up by hand, and make sure it's a sativa. Sativa. Now, the way that's going to break down your system, the way that's a vasodilator, it's going to open up your blood vessels, it's going to reawaken fucking zombie cells that are lying dormant in the body. It is going to do things to your stomach that's going to fucking shock you. Shock you. So you're going to make a tea. I'm so excited for you. Okay, you're going to make a tea. Now, in that tea, and I told you about the ginger, you want to put some local honey and put a lot in, because sometimes when you boil all that other stuff up, it may not be the tastiest without a little bit of honey in it. Strawberry bananas. Fucking bananas, baby. I love it. Good shit. Moving on. So you're going to make that tea, and we're going to anything heavy with like THCV, anything heavy with like Durban poison strains. Your Maui Wowies are also very good. Anything deep purple sativas. And there's a few out there that are so deep and dark, they're almost black. Oh, they're beautiful. Wow, they're delicious. Deep berries, think. Anyway, so let me see. Yes, we'll need to do some convos about that being in Florida, but there will still be medicinal. You still have to give 200 to the doctor. Okay. Yes, you do. Every 7 months, and $70 a year to the state of Florida. So how much is that? Every 7 months, like a year. So let's just say $400 a year in fees to the state. Do you know how much weed I smoke? Holy shit. If I'm going to be buying this shit motherfucking recreationally and the taxes, I will go broke. I have children I have to give food to, and clothing and medicine, and they break shit all the time on themselves, and hospitals. So, so in that, recreational is going to be very expensive, and I really care about my quality of product. My quality of product is like everything. I used to, when I first started smoking here in Florida, I thought what we had was okay. I mean, I was used to swag. I was used to some shit dirt weed. I was used to some kind bud occasionally. Swag, then kind bud, KB, and then some dro. Woohoo! Some nice hydro. And so I kind of went, and then sometimes you find some really nice, interesting, like Christmas bud or Christmas tree bud or Gainesville green or Micanopy red. You would find some really amazing, legendary strains. Colombian gold. I mean, it just depends where you travel and who you knew. So, but never for Florida. Florida, it's hard to grow weed, and the environment doesn't allow you to grow weed necessarily. So, get one of those balls, yeah, and then shove them in deep and steep. Very good, very smart, very good and smart. Good and smart, deep and steep. God, it gets so dirty every fucking time. I'm like, okay, so I fucking forgot what I was saying. It'll come back to me in just a second. Very important. So I have no idea what I was saying. I saw T-balls deep and steep, and it completely fucked up my head. So every doctor, so you got to go to the doctor, you got to spend money at the doctor, you got to spend it in the state. So if it was on taxes, do you know how much money I would have to spend? Crazy amounts. Like we're talking about crazy amounts of taxes every year, thousands possibly. And it's about quality. So I used to smoke really shitty weed, swag, dirt weed. You'd be peeling it off in sheets, and the seeds would go popping in the fucking directions. It was crazy. This one shit we smoked once, we called it Yokohama, like because of the tires, because it smelled like it was shipped in tires, and it would give you headaches. But we didn't have anything else, and it looked good, and it smelled like shit, but it gave you a little bit of a high, but not much, not enough for the headaches that I dealt with later. So whatever terpenes that were natural with that were terrible. Whatever it was shipped in, it soaked all that in. And the things that we used to buy were disgusting and terrible. So this is why I love the medical program, because they've made my weed look good. I love the medical, but quality is a big deal. And so anyways, here in Florida, in the beginning of the program, we thought what we had was decent, and it wasn't. It really wasn't. And so for a couple of years, I figured, all right, Florida's getting better and they're catching up. So I had the opportunity to work out of state for a couple months, and I did. I went to Colorado, to Denver, and I worked for Starbuds, Schwaz, Standing Akimbo, Emerald Fields, great people. And so I was out there promoting for them for a little while. And while I was out there, I was smoking some really, really, really fire weed. Oh man, it was good. It was good weed. Just holy shit, what I've been fucking missing. Then I came back to Florida and nothing. See, something's telling me, yeah, it's good. I came back to Florida, and everything from everybody, I started smoking. I was testing and checking, and I was looking for the flavor and the quality and the freshness, and I wasn't getting it from the big manufacturers. The big manufacturers out there, I'm not going to name them, but it was terrible. If you look at my pre-roll videos, I have a few out there on my channels, a part 1 and a part 2, where I rank the top 10 pre-rolls here in the state of Florida in the medical program. So if you look at my profile somewhere on LinkedIn or Facebooky or the YouTuber or the Insta-Chachas or just on LinkedIn, I know I have it on LinkedIn. I know I have it on the YouTube. I know I have it on the Facebook. It's part 1, part 2, and it kind of explains the why. And we eat the weed, we test the weed, we smell the weed, we chew the weed. It's crazy. We smoke the weed. It's amazing. And we really give honest opinions of unbiased, honest opinion of the top 10. Who's number one? Who's the top 3 are really the only to look at to buy from now. The top 3 that won in that competition, you shouldn't be buying from anybody else. And that's all I'm going to say. Everybody else is. So long story short, I started smoking Gold Flower, and people ask me, they're like, dude, you're kind of over the top about how you feel about it. I'm like, dude, you start smoking good weed again, you're over the fucking top, for real. Back in the day when we used to get together in groups, back in the day when we were all fucking hanging out and shit, and we're like, dude, where'd you get your weed? That is some fucking great weed. That's amazing weed. I want weed like that. You turn people on, you feel good about that. You're like, yeah, what's up? I got a hold of good weed. I got a hold of really good weed. Let me hook you up, man. Talk to me, my guy. We gotta climb a mountain, call him from a fucking payphone, meet him at a fucking car wash. It's some crazy shit. And a lot of the stories, me buying weed, was always some crazy shit. Always some crazy shit. Just, oh my God, write a book about that alone. So, but making tea, very important. Okay, so you still got to give 200. So the little tea balls and shove them up deep and steep. Thought it was an every 3 months. No, every 7 months. Every 3 months with certain doctors. There's a guy in Ocala that does that to his patients and makes them come back. And then if you have a regular doctor that you're going to, they may make you come back every 3 months because they're dicks. You don't have to go back every 3 fucking months. You go back every 7 months to get your rec renewed. Every 7 months. That's it. And then every year you renew your license with the state of Florida for $70 or $75, 77.36, blah, blah, blah. If I get the lemon skunk, you'll never go wrong. Oh, the lemon skunk is lemony, beautiful. Depends who's growing it. I've tried lemon skunk from people like Air and Curaleaf. Look, for me, Goldflower spoiled me. Somebody mentioned the other day, oh, shut up, or no. I'm like, shut up, you. You go try some Goldflower. And then it was a medical assistant at one of the Doc MJ offices in Tampa. And in Tampa, Goldflower is about to open another location. Beautiful location, great spot. So I was mentioning, I'm like, look, have you gotten a chance to try Goldflower? And she looks at me, she goes, not yet. I have, but I'm doing it today after work. I'm going. I'm like, you're going? She goes, I'm going. I'm going to go to Largo. I'm like, that's right. Largo's open. So she goes, I'm going to go to Largo. I'm getting his coffee next door at the Starbucks. I'm going to Largo to the Goldflower. I'm picking up weed. And then I saw a post. Holy shit, it's good. I can't wait to go back and visit that office and have the nurse be like, that's it. You're right. You've ruined me for other weed. I am so spoiled. And Goldflower spoils people. Because you smoke their shit, it's so good. It tastes good. It smells good. You smoke somebody else's, and you're like, it's all right. Now it's subpar. So Goldflowers is rocking. That's why I talk a good game of them. Let me see. Let me see if you get the loose. I have a pretty loose dose early. The weed tea, since heated, affect me similarly. Yes and no. So when you're drinking the tea, when you're drinking the tea, it depends on what they're making, who's making it, what the tea combination you're putting in there. I like local honey because of my allergies. I like the ginger because it opens up the mind and the blood vessels, but also keeps you grounded. I like hibiscus. I like the I think the rose hip, but some of them don't taste great. Anything that's beneficial in there, I think, is amazing. Now, anything else they put in like mushroom tea, that you'll have a religious experience. You do a mushroom tea and you will definitely have a religious experience. Oh, it's almost like a mushroom. I see that. There you go. Oh, you saw the new location. Yeah, isn't that amazing? It's right on the corner. It's like you can't miss it. And the sign, the golden sign, glows only at certain times of the day when the sun is just right at a spot and the sign looks like it's on fire. Absolutely amazing. But no, so I talk about Goldflower in the way that they saved me because of flavor and taste. And I feel high again. I wasn't getting high from everybody else's shit. I would smoke 2, 3 joints to feel a little bit of an entourage. I smoke half a joint and I'm feeling pretty rockin'. Now you think, Oren, but tonight you smoke a lot of weed. You're right. It's like I'm going out on a Friday night and having a couple drinks. That's what I'm doing. I'm having a couple drinks and smoking a little extra. And I will sleep well because I need it after this fucking hurricane cleanup kind of a day. That's like pure sugar. But mushrooms are also quite amazing as well. But in their microdose, not wanting to see the fabric of space and time or meet God, but in their microdose, I think they're absolutely amazing. But definitely, I think the way it affects your body. So tea is different. Okay. Ooh, I didn't finish telling you about the tea because there's more to it. You don't want to make it too fucking hot. Here we go. When the kettle screams, it screams, you know, ah! Tea, kettle, take it off. Make sure all your shit's ready and in the cup. Take the kettle off and let it sit for like 3 minutes. And you're thinking, oh, that's a long time. That's a long time. So look at it. Okay, 2.5 minutes, long enough. Grab it, pour it in, and let your tea steep for like 6 minutes. Don't even drink it. Don't drink it. It's going to start cooling, and you're thinking, what is going on over here? I let it sit for 3 minutes, and then I'm pouring it. I'm letting it sit for like 6. I'm steeping it. It's a long process. I'm steeping. I'm steeping. Keep steeping your tea. Keep doing it. Keep going through the motion of this shit. Steep it. Now drink it. Sip it. Drink it. Enjoy it. Take it in. and it should be warm and continue being warm by the time you're done with the tea. Drink it all the way down. By the time you're done with the tea, your body will start to feel lighter. You will start to feel better from your toes up through the center of the body here. It'll just feel lighter. It'll feel easier. Not your head. You're not going to be head high. You're going to be body high. This is what you need to be ready for. Your head's going to be straight. Your head's going to be fine. Everything here is still going to be pretty much normal. I mean, you may feel a little more giddy. You may feel a little more light with your words. You know, not like you've been drinking alcohol, but like, you know, you just feel a little easier, a little more pain-free. When I'm pain-free, I'm high. When I am not hurting in the many different places that I hurt, I feel giddy. I feel high. I feel lifted in a way that I could never even describe. I feel so good that I could be mistaken for being high. I could. I think I don't want to get too much into detail, but you know, happiness is it's such an energy that is hard to contain and it's hard to describe. I've learned that happiness is in moments and it's not all the time. Happiness, it doesn't ever disappear because it lives right here in my heart and in the combination of memory and heart. That's happiness. That's true happiness. It's not possession. It's not money. It's not cars or big houses. It's sunrises. It's another day on this magical fucking earth. It's the cockle-doodle-doo of my idiot fucking rooster that does it like 8 times at different intervals from 4 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning, making sure I'm fucking awake, not to miss the sunrise. I'm never mad at my idiot rooster. Instead, I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm not going to miss another sunset. They're magical. They're gorgeous. And tonight, by the way, look up in the sky and there's a comet that you should be able to see with the naked eye. Not the thing maybe the thing that's circling the moon, our second moon, but you should be able to see it this evening. I think it's a comet. I think this one's different. There's going to be 3 different articles in the sky that we could be able to see with our naked eye. Sky, naked eye. See, I start getting really high in the sky with my naked eye, and I start rhyming and shit. I'm going to turn into a fucking Dr. Seuss before you know it. A decent weed will put itself out. If it's too dry, it'll just burn right through. But if it's a decent weed, it should put itself out. This is strawberry pancakes. You're getting high tonight with the Oraganji. That's me. But we're all Oraganjis. Those of us that are connoisseurs, those of us that want better medication, those of us that want more. Okay, I haven't been reading shit. I'm so sad. I'm so sorry. I had a religious experience almost like a mushroom. I saw that new location. Absolutely. That's why I quit. What, mushrooms? I wasn't getting high. Oh, wait, no. Oh, Nick. Holy shit. If you haven't had gold flower yet, I'm going to set you up. I'm telling you, right now, go down there. Fucking 50% off I'll give you. Just tell them. Oren sent you down there. The crazy guy. You weren't getting high. Neither was I. Listen, I wasn't getting high. Nick, I wasn't fucking getting high. I'm telling you. All the shit. All right, so I went and I tried Jungle Boys and I tried Flowery. And I got their premium stuff. And it still took the whole joint for me to kind of really feel it. But it smelled good and it tasted good. And so that was better than anything else around. And then Gold Flower was the fucking difference. So the thing we were smoking earlier, I know it's a nub now, but the 1 gram joint that we were smoking, fucking like a quarter of the way in, I was already like, damn, that's great. Look, look at the video. When I first started smoking it, no, they deliver. Listen, wait a second. When I talk, you want Gold Flower, they do free same day delivery. I'm not trying to be like an advertisement and a fanboy right now, but I just see what I'll drive for fit. Right. Call them at the call center. Tell them the crazy guy Orange sent you down, and they'll give you the 50% off as long as you spend like a certain amount, though. I mean, it's your first time. They'll give you 50% off everything as long as you spend like a certain amount. So I know there's like one itsy bitsy stipulation there, but it's not a big amount. It's like small. And it's definitely worth it. So definitely do it. But they deliver. They do their delivery. They show up in Teslas and suits, or they look super fancy. They look super good. And a lot of people are afraid to get delivery because they're not going to get the experience that they get in the dispensary. But that's so different with Goldflower. Look, their delivery crew is on fire. They are bud tenders. They're bud tenders on the road. They're bud tenders on the move. Bud tenders on the go. Yes, I mean, but it's the truth. So then they're bringing you good shit, looking good in a Tesla. Damn, that's hot. They're bringing value back to weed. That's a big fucking deal again. We've devalued our cannabis for how long? For years here in Florida. Oh, here in Florida, we've devalued the shit out of our cannabis. Thank God there are people like Goldflower that do small batch growing, organic, hand trimmed, living soil stuff, great brand affiliations. That's fire. That's community. That's cannabis. That's the weed. That's why the weed's so good, because the people fucking love it. Those growers, I know the growers, they love it. They sing and dance with their weed. They love it. I saw Troy. He was hugging a plant. He was like, I love you. You're a beautiful plant. You're beautiful. I walked in. He was like, nothing. Or nothing. What's going on? What? What? He's looking around. What? I leave. He's like, we'll talk later. Shh. Beautiful plants. That's what they do. When you love your fucking plants, the people who smoke it are going to love it as well. It shows. You weren't getting high. Well, definitely try Goldflower. It's going to blow you away. And tell them Orange sent you, and they'll give you 50% off of like everything you buy. I think even including like your premium shit, your first time in. It's a big discount. But they only give, but you have to spend a certain amount, but it's not ungodly. It's not like $8,000. No, no, no. That would be crazy. No, they're amazing. And they're 50% off. But even drive. Look, there's one in Ocala, Sebring, Largo, St. Pete, Bradenton. How can I forget Bradenton? Because the grow is close to Bradenton. And I know with the Meet the Growers, if you show up at some of these events, they give away opportunities to tour the grow. That's amazing. That's like, they bring you right in and say, look, we have nothing to hide. Look at our beautiful grow. Look at our beautiful plants. We love our plants and they love you. I like to go in and chat and see things. Yeah, no, I like that too. And I think sometimes the first time we need that, like we need to go in and see the realness of the company, not that, oh, they're just delivery. And they're not. It's worth going in. The stores are very bougie. They have great smell bars, bud bars. For me, that's number one. You're going to smell the weed before you buy it. That's how I got this has been nice. This is how I picked up these strawberry bananas. I wasn't going to get it because it's hybrid leaning indica. I don't think so. I'm feeling great. So the terps, though, are very citrus orange, but with a stinky, inky. Ooh, that the aroma is stronger than the terpene because it showed a very low terpene on the bag. But as I inhale, that is orange and an aroma, of orange, almost like the orange bowl, but a very light version of it. So nice. Look, sometimes the aroma can really get you kicked in more than anything else. And for me, the aroma shapes my mood and kind of shapes where I'm going. I think if you spend 150, then you walk out only spending actually 75. So you have to spend 150. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what it was, but you like to go and check it out. Whatever. When you go in and what you try, I believe heavily in healing or looking to sell the solution. to what you're looking for, not the brand, not the strain, not anything but what's going to heal. Even if you're looking at it on a recreational level, healing should be number one. I have restless leg, which can wake me up at any time, and electrical crazy pain, on fire sometimes. Holy shit, it changes up. I have neuropathy to a degree and fibromyalgia to a degree. And maybe I don't necessarily anymore, which is also quite interesting. But I did at one point because of nerve damage, because of a car accident, a very bad one. I have stomach issues similar to Crohn's and IBS, but not, I've been working and healing those. I was diabetic. I'm not any longer. I do not require insulin. I do not require monitoring anymore. My blood sugar is fucking normalized because of weed. I don't say this and I'm like, oh, it's possible. No, it's fucking possible. I am an older gentleman. That's weird to fucking say, isn't it? Wait, we missed some shit. I'll go and try everything out. Okay, so spend 300. No. No, you don't spend 300. Spend 150 and you get 50% off. I think that's it. You don't, but if you spend 300, then it's only going to cost you 150. But that is funny. I haven't tried the classical stretch yet. I even told Ange about it. I was like, there's a classical stretch I've got to do. This is going to be everything. Channel 15, a local channel. We haven't tried it yet, though. Not yet. Okay, from the chemo. And so you need to reactivate the cells in your body. Now, chemotherapy shadows, knocks out, blocks cell communication, blocks out the energy, like it kills and numbs the edges, so the energy no longer can transmute through the cell. And it's a terrible thing. So cannabis can help. Now, eating cannabis is going to be the number one. Making tea from cannabis. The reason I say the tea is because now we're dealing with CBGA in her acidic form before she starts to decarboxylate into THC or the full spectrum of CBD. Oh, CBGA! I could talk about this, the beginning. It's the beginning. And because of it, it's breaking down into the bloodstream very quickly. Because of that, it's attaching to the neural receptors. Because of that, it's reconstructing the way our brain, especially if it's a sativa, the way our brain talks, it's rewiring the brain. It also helps rewire the body. So in that, and I'll explain, I for a very long time couldn't feel anything on the left side of my body. My toes went numb, and this could have been, it's so many different things kind of influenced at the time, and the car accident, and so I couldn't feel my toes, and I couldn't feel the bottom of my foot. I couldn't feel my calf muscle, so I couldn't really feel as I was stepping. And then most of my left leg up into this part of the body, I could feel like I could I could feel deep. Like the skin, I couldn't feel anything. And I mean, if I cut my, so I went to a place and they did like EKGs, and they kept a mini stroke. Let's not go there. And they took they've been checked. My heart's been checked and shit like that, and they say I'm perfectly fucking fine, which is the craziest thing. Oh yeah, gold flower for tea. Absolutely. I would not eat or drink the tea of anybody else other than gold flower. But I remember going for EKGs, and they tested me all the way in, and they were putting needles rather deep. And it would get to a point where I'm like, oh, I kind of feel you're somewhere. Like I feel pressure, but I don't feel pain. Now I feel a lot more. And it's because of THCV. It's because of the reactivation. It's THCV in the combination of full plant health. I love rosin. I love RSO. I like live rosin edibles. That's what I like. I like a full spectrum cannabis. RSO has its place, but it's an end product. I think a cleaner, extracted, full cannabinoid, full plant health is the absolute way to go. So live rosin, edibles that are made with pectin that are food sources for the body. Pectin's a food source for the body because that's a beautiful thing. So it breaks down into the bloodstream like a saw. So instead of waiting 30, 45 minutes for your edible to kick in, 10 minutes, boom, you're feeling all right. Feeling all right. Woo. But no, that was that. So the reason I was numb and I was getting EKGs and whatnot, I was hit by a drunk driver in '94. I used to play soccer. That ended abruptly in a vehicle that I bought for myself. That was a toy. I bought it with every ounce of money that I had. Love the Toyota Supra, a '94 twin turbo Toyota Supra. I'm angry now. I'm angry now. I don't want to talk about the car. It's the only possession I've ever I don't have fast cars now. I have an old truck that I love. That you can call her a beater, but that's all right. She's a great truck. Great truck. I love her. She starts up every morning. She drives many miles. I mean, great. Comfortable. Now I look at comfort and how many miles my vehicle is capable of driving. But back then, the twin turbo, 6-speed. They don't make those anymore. It was the fastest I've ever been in a vehicle. I felt like it was a spaceship. Target top. A lot of memories. So it was totaled, pretty much. And I was thrown kind of halfway out the passenger side. I did break that window, going halfway out of it, with my seatbelt breaking and my body twisting in ways I don't even remember. Didn't walk without assistance, without serious assistance for a long time. Didn't want to walk, didn't care. I was on a lot of fucking medication. And I gave up everywhere. And I just took their fucking medication and I did their fucking mood pills and pain pills, movement pills, and fuck. Destroyed my stomach, destroyed my brain even more than it already was. I didn't need anything else fucking with it. Got addicted to the pain pills for a long time. Loved some of them, like opium based. Woo, that was great shit. But terrible shit. Tramadol. And I ran out. I was in a lot of pain. And a friend called. It was the craziest thing. I needed him to call. He's like, dude, I'm in town. What are you doing? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It'd be great. Come over. And I was in so much pain. I was hurting so bad. Came over and fucking smoked a joint with me. Smoked a fucking sativa. And I felt amazing. I felt better than I had ever felt. And I'd smoked weed before. It's not like I didn't fucking smoke weed. I grew some beautiful shit. But it wasn't that. I'd stopped. Because of the accident, I got hooked on pain pills. My mood changed. My me changed. I became mean and not understanding. The third eye closed. Everything. I didn't know where my emotions were. I didn't know who I was. And he came over and he smoked a joint with me. Patrick. And we got really fucking high. Patrick the starfish. And we got really high. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I feel great. My pain is going away. He goes, dude, it's a sativa. And I was like, whoa, a sativa. Holy shit. I'm like, dude, I heard a little weed, picked it up, just ate it. I heard sativas are going to give me PTSD. They're going to give me stress and, they're going to make me feel like, give me anxiety. He's like, no. Who told you stupid shit like this? Because my whole life I'd been pretty much smoking indicas and I was shaping my body and my mind in a way that was terrible. So, yeah, it is the best. There is some really great stuff out there. I think that showed me the opportunity that cannabis could give me that the other medications couldn't. This made me see pain control. Cannabis gave me the opportunity to control my health and my medicine and my administration. And it took me a while, but I got off pain meds completely. I had a lot of migraines. Oh my God, so many migraines. I used to be addicted, not addicted. I hated it. The way my dad would do it, I talked about it in the last show, I think. He used to give me shots of Imitrex for my migraines, which were terrible. And he'd come at me like it was a frightening experience. I think I had more PTSD from him giving me shots and ripping shirts off of me at fairs and festivals. We'll have to talk about it another time. Or I'll mention it now. We were in the French Quarter, New Orleans, many moons ago. My dad was walking with my mother and my sister and somebody else, and it was a whole crowd of people. And we're going down the French Quarter, and I'm wearing a shirt similar to this, but with parrots. And it had a little hole, just a little, like a little itsy bitsy hole. And I'm looking down, I'm like, oh, look at that. It's got a little hole on it. Oh. So I turn around, I'm like, hey, Dad, look, I got a little itsy bitsy. I don't know what the fuck I said it. Got a little itsy bitsy hole. And he's like, yeah, okay. So then I turned back around. I think I took like 2-3 steps, and he reached forward and grabbed the back of my shirt and just ripped it right off my body. And I just stood there with the shirt up into the air. And he was like, bloody hell, yes, and yes. And so and the whole crowd of people starts cheering. They don't fucking know why, but my dad was very charismatic in that moment. Not always, but you see him now. I don't see that same charismaticness out of him at the moment. But, and then he threw the shirt down and he reached in his pocket and grabbed some cash and threw money at me. Son, you take that money. Go to the store and get yourself a new shirt. Bloody ridiculous. That shirt had to go. And people are like, that's right, it had to go. And I don't think I mean, it's funny now. At the moment, I was so embarrassed. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever been that embarrassed. But now, I love it. I enjoy the memory of that. I enjoy, I enjoy the whole power of that. So here in Florida, the doc that will give you, let me see. I think you need to go to a full holistic and don't rely on cannabis for everything. No, I don't rely on cannabis for everything. I do research into holistic care. I have a very good knowledge of the human body, and how it works and what cannabis actually does and does not do. For example, like my cholesterol, absolute shit. Fucking terrible. And it's so hard to fucking control. So which doctor's going to give you a script? So you've got Doc MJs. Doc MJs are easy. They're simple. I think right now they have a big special, $89 to get your rec. $89 to get your rec through them. You still have to pay the $75 to the state. That's to the state. That's your license. But to get your recommendation from the doctor in order for you to go buy weed. So every 7 months, you have to get a renewed recommendation from the doctor that allows you to go buy weed. Doc MJ, that's a decent price, $89. The Relief Clinic, I believe they're pretty well priced. I don't even know. The only reason I know the Doc MJ one, I saw it the other day. I was at their office and I was like, $89. Wow, for you guys, that's cheap. Like usually I want to say they're like $199. So usually Doc MJ is 200, like $199, $200. And then you come back in 7 months and it's like $100. And every 7 months thereof, it's $100. I'm pretty sure that's, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure how that works. I'm off sometimes. But right now, I think their initial for the new patient is $89. And that's Doc MJ. And also the Relief Clinic. But I think Doc MJ right now is the cheapest. And it's a good, easy way to get into the program. And then when you renew it, I don't think you have to go to the office. The first time you have to go to the office. But after that, I would have to say I think it's all telemedicine. And that way you don't even have to go anywhere. And it's all taken care of for you, just like that. It was $100 when you go back, like the renewal. Now you got yours on Groupon. See, that's the future right there. I got my marijuana license on Groupon. Yeah. Dick MJ. That's a whole different kind of doctor. That's not the kind of doctor we're talking about. No, Doc MJ. I speak fast. I apologize. I need to learn to talk slower because when I think I'm talking slow, I think it's probably still fast. Oh, wait, let me get this going again because this was quite nice. Strawberry pancakes, smells great. Beautiful aroma. We rolled this together on tonight's show. We rolled 2 joints and we're going to do it again. I think on every show while we're chit-chatting, we should roll a joint. That way it shows you, and then we'll do it next week, we'll do it freehand. We won't even use the dollar bill. Let's get fancy. I tell you, that means just the paper. Mm. That's when my joints look a little pregnant. When I do it freehand, so when I have to roll this, when I have to roll it freehand, and definitely I'll use 2 hands and I'll get right in there. My joints come out a little lopsidedly pregnant. Not terrible. I do like the dollar bill or the bill method. I learned that. Where was I? I think I was in Canada, and I was leaving a festival, and I was on the side of the street trying to roll some weed, and I couldn't. No, I was at a party. And then I taught somebody on the side of a street, saw them trying to roll their weed, and they're doing a terrible fucking job. So I was like, wait. And I sat down and showed them how to do it. And I had like a $5 bill. And then I left the bill because they needed money. And they're rolling a joint or a cigarette. Maybe it was a cigarette they were rolling. I don't know now. It was many moons ago. Many moons. But I've been showing people how to roll with a bill for so many years now because it's the most even, lovely pre-roll. Hand rolled by hand, lickety split. There is one in Kissimmee. Yeah, there's a few, I think. There's like a main number. If you call it, they'll send you to like the closest location. And that's what's neat. They have like 33 locations, something like that. But if it's 100, you let them know that Orange sent you, damn it, and it better be $89. No, don't be like that, because then they'll be like, who the fuck is Orin? Oraganji. Oraganji told me to fucking come here, and it's going to be $89, damn it. Be like that. Be angry. No, don't be angry. Don't be angry. Walk in with kindness and joy. The medical assistants have been working hard, and it's been hard. So many patients come to them, so many stories, so much pain that they have to find a solution for. So earlier, somebody was asking what cannabis would they use, I think, what for the tea? What I like sativas. I would use something with high limonene, your citrusy, your lemony, your limey. Ooh, it does beautiful things with the tea. But I also love like your linalul, linalul, your like your lavender. That's that. I mean, by aroma, it's beautiful. But by taste, it's your linalul. Your linoline, your limoline. Oh my God, my brain just stopped. It was like, what are you trying to say? Your pining is piney, and that's nice, but not so much in a tea. And you'll find a lot of sativas that have a pininess to it, but um, eucalyptul, that's going to be nice in your teas. You've got things like humulene, you've got myrcene. These are terpenes that you're going to find in different cannabis, but a specific strain, nice and tea. Mount Hood Magic. Now, Goldflower. As far as Goldflower and tea, any of their sativas, it's hard to go wrong because they all taste so good. I mean, really, they taste absolutely delicious. Um, that's hard. Even so, Orange Bowl is so orangey. It's almost stinky orange, and it's overpowering. So for a tea, that might be amazing. For a tea, that might be the most gorgeous ensemble of things together. Oh, especially especially the orange and the honey together. That is delicious. Yeah. No, I think Orange Bowl is really nice. No, wait. Your Emerald Apricot is the banger. Your Emerald Apricot is so good. Like the Voyager 1 I was just smoking tonight. Voyager 1, Emerald Apricot, maybe a little bit of positive mental attitude. Woohoo! Oh, these are beautiful teas. that I'm excited now. Now I'm gonna put together a little charcuterie board of tea. Um, Pinene. Well, then definitely don't do pinene. If you're allergic to pinene, make sure that you don't have pinene. But now, are you allergic to cannabinoid pinene, which it's different? Or are you allergic to pinene in, say, like food sources or botanical sources? What code you give them? You say Orin. You say crazy guy Orin on the podcast. You say Orin, I'm highly motivated. Orin, that is always flipping high, Orin. Orin, that you're on the site. In the notes, you put Orin. Wait, I think I have a. No, I don't have it. I thought I had like a QR code. I could be like all fancy. I'd be like, check this one out. Boom. No, I don't. Thought it was gonna be fancy. What was the orange one? Orange Bowl. Orange Bowl was the orange one. Orange Bowl, but, but, but I would get the Emerald Apricot. I don't think it's out right now. Maybe the Mountain Hood Magic. Maybe the Positive Mental Attitude. Oh, but with what they have right now in stock, I don't know what each store would have because I just picked up a bunch of shit the other day and it was the Florida Gator. Hold on, they've got it. They've got to have it right now. I hope they still have some. Florida Gator is one they dropped recently. Bionico just came back out. That one as well would make a beautiful tea. Okay, sorry. I'm just remembering from an email I saw that they just did a drop. They're like, look at our drop. Florida Gator. That was delicious. I ate a little bit. I smoked a whole bunch, like 2/8 already I've gone through, and like a couple of just really good. Great even smoke that hits you at sativa, but not. So it's leveling you out. So your body is kind of feeling more floaty and light on your feet. That's a big deal. We need to feel light on our feet. By the end of the day, I feel so heavy on my feet, and each movement is like I'm covered in a coating of armor, and I can't get it off fast enough. But I mean, there's a few. I mean, right now the dark rainbow is good. The Cadillac rainbow was really delicious. Um, roll-ups. Okay, I don't know why I didn't even mention roll-ups. Roll-ups was fruity, not just by taste, by smell, by aroma. Imagine that in a tea, and it's a sativa, hybrid leaning sativa. The Voyager one was nice, but flavor I didn't know. I haven't tried that flavor wise. The roll-ups I have. Roll-ups was good. The orange bowl I have, that was delicious. And remember, that's super stinky. So when you're smoking, it's like a tropical cherry. At first, you're like, ooh, no, ooh, no, 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 no. And you put it down. And then you're like, wait. And you pick it back up again. You're like, ooh, shit, that's good. It takes a moment for your body to digest and kind of like assimilate the super stink, the super cheese. That does amazing things for the mind and the body. And when I smell that tropical cherry-esque thing happening, I'm like, oh, yeah, I gotta smoke a more. And that's kind of how the orange bowl is. Um, oh, there was a few others that I've been smoking recently that have been very, very nice. But the Emerald Apricot is one of my favorites by far. The roll-ups is excellent. The Bionicos, I know they have out right now. And this would be flower if you're making tea. There was the orange one. Let me see, I'm on the site now. To the pinene, even the cannabinoid in a different way. Such a bad trip for me. Make me immediately dizzy and nauseous. Now, is that eating it or smoking it? Because, it's funny. I can't smoke everything. I've smoked some things that make me kind of nauseous. And, cannabis wise, where it almost, so sometimes it's not the strain, but the way it was grown or what was added to it that kind of gets me. Like when I'm eating weed, I can taste the additives. Like if they sprayed it with some shit or they didn't get the fertilizers out or the enhancements out. I know some people with certain pinenes, with pinene or certain terpenes, it will completely rock their world, like bad ways, mentally. Just send them on an entire trip. I mean, so you want to stay away from anything that's going to be, that's going to be very sharp and foresty, overly earthy. Um, I'm like, anything evergreen, rosemary, basil-y. Whenever you taste it and it's rosemary or basil-y, you know there's going to be a lot of pinene in that blend. So you want to be able to look at, see, for you, it's very important then that you look at these COAs. You look at what cannabinoids or what terpenes, you need a terpene test. You need to see what terpenes are prevalent in your strain. You need to see, because if it has the pinene, absolutely, it can do terrible things to you. You've only inhaled and then just avoided edibles with it. So I think it's through maybe now, and it's made you, so it made you dizzy and nauseous through the inhalation. But a lot of times you're not going to get that in an edible, because in an edible, it's not cannabinoid flavors. It's going to be organic botanical flavors, but in an edible, it's not, or it's going to be natural flavors. And many times you're not going to have any pinenes um, in um, in natural flavors. I don't see them using basil and rosemary in our edibles. Now, do you have problems with basil or rosemary? Does make it sense, right? Where it's from, right? And also where it's from, because I know people who've grown shit that have just completely messed me up. Uh, it took you a while to figure out, and you know something? I bet in that journey of finding out that it was the pinene, or you believe it was stay the fuck away from pinene. Stay away from pinene. You don't even want to chance it. You don't even want to play with it. If you figured it out and you're feeling better, guess what? No more fucking pinene. That's how it's going to be. That's what's going to happen. Wait to make sure. I was supposed to pick somebody up. Nope, I wasn't. Good. Just looking. You never know. I get buzzes all the time, and I miss meetings. I miss messages. Not because I mean to, because there's so much shit going on, and I don't stop. I don't slow down. I take a breath. I know what's happening, and then I go right back to it. I believe life is such an adventure that I don't want to rest too long. I want to experience every moment that I can in the best way that I can, because that's the excitement of it. You didn't get the discount code? No. They're going to call you. They're going to call you before they bring it to you if you got delivery or if you go into the store. But if you're getting delivery, don't worry. They're going to give you a call and you let them know you spoke to Oren. We were on the show and you get your code. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. That's how it works. And maybe a free pre-roll. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm like the pre-roll guy. I love to give out fucking pre-rolls because I judge pre-rolls. Pre-rolls are the thing. I'm telling you, many people now smoke their pre-rolls and called me. Wow. One of the great influences out there, SST, like brain, no worky, but great cannabis influencer here in the space, looking to expand his circle. He went and picked up a pre-roll and smoking it on his show, SST Life. There you go. Find him on the Insta Cha-Cha. But he was smoking a joint on the Insta Cha-Cha. And as he lit it up, first time trying Goldflower, and he's talking to everybody, and he smokes it, and he's talking, he stops, and he looks at it, and he's like, oh. Starts smoking it more, and going back again and again and again, and he's talking. He's like, damn, that's really good. I mean, that's really good. And it's very rare here in Florida that that's what you find, unless you find Goldflower. But if you didn't get the code, don't worry. Let them know you spoke. They're going to call you to verify everything. And you say, yo, I spoke to this crazy guy. He told me about this fucking code. Give me the code, please. Please let me have the code. I want the code. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. If Brandon calls you, ask for Brandon. Be like, dude, is Brandon there? I need this code. I spoke to Oren. Who's Oren? No. Would that be some crazy shit? They're like, who's Oren? I'd be like mortified, yo. Mortified. So when they call you, pine barrels for bear. Pine barrels for beer. They shouldn't be putting beer in pine barrels. But have an issue with. Same thing, like it took a while for pinene. I just avoided it. You avoid it. You should. Stay the fuck away from pinene. You shouldn't even be messing with pinene. They shouldn't be using pine barrels for beer. They should be using oak barrels if you're going to put it in a barrel for beer. But beer, I don't think beer, do they put beer in a barrel? In a barrel of beer? Or do they put the beer in a keg of beer, of barreling this? It's a lot to ponder at the moment. I make mead. So I leave it in glass and I put it in big glass containers where I ferment it. And then I'll move it to 1 gallon jugs that are also glass and I will cork it. It'll be very nice once it's done with its distillation process, or, settling. Actually, there's no distillation. It settles and we suck it out and you drink as much as you can. And you're like, oh, this is delicious. And you keep drinking it and then you bottle it. And then some days you grab a jug and you say, oh, it's a party. I make mead. I love mead. Honey wine. Honey wine is ambrosia, is the nectar of the gods, is the interplanetary connector. And it is. I even make it with weed. I make it with cannabis. Oh, delicious. So stay away from pine. Stay away from it. You don't need it. But there's so many strains that you can go towards. And I'm going to do a deep dive into allergies to the flavor, to terpenes. And so even if you're what you smell, like where you get like itchy or like you want to sneeze type of allergies, or you dizziness and nausea even from the smell of pining. And I imagine what, it'd have to be a pretty strong whiff of pining, or you'd have to be close to the barrel or being a good distance from the barrel. Like, I feel like I'm 10 feet from a pine barrel. How do you know? I just know. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling very dizzy on my feet. Fucking pine. Can't go in the hardware stores. Not at all. No, I'm just... Sorry. Not making fun. Laughing with you. And labeled barrel aged. It was barrel... So it started really pain. Wow. Well, now wait. That might be the tannins. For cannabis, and I find mead and cider, etc., too sweet. But it always sounds well. It depends on the honey, and now cider can be made less sweet, and cider's beautiful in so many different ways. Drank it on a train on the way to Scotland. Oh, I don't even know who I was. I came off that train wearing somebody else's sweater. It was a great train ride. It was amazing. The sights, the scenes. But okay, so barrel aged, and usually if it's barrel aged, it won't be pine barrels. It's going to be like aged oak barrels. But the aging in barrels creates tannins, and tannins, even at the smell of them, create nausea, dizziness, and sickness. Like with wine, I can drink any kind of wine. Bring it on. I love wine, but Ange, for example, can't drink wine. She can have 1 glass, but as long as it's organic and it's not done with tannins. So it has to be fermented and aged, whatever, in a steel barrel, not in a wood barrel. Because in the wood barrel, it creates tannins, and the tannins create the nausea, the sickness, the headaches, the pain. I mean, just total body like, it's like it feels like an allergy, and couldn't breathe, wow, what the fuck is going on from 1 glass of wine? Or even smelling it, the wine. So it's smelling the tannins. But sort of the notice, I live in Pinecrest Lakes growing up. Oh my God, that's like very difficult. So even by the smell of it, so wow, just wow. Well, not even wow. I mean, I've seen people allergic to everything and anything. And in that, I don't know if our bodies need to heal something so that we can process pinene and limonene and the myrcene and the humulene and I feel like I start changing accents when I start talking about terpenes. I mean, I think take pinene out of the equation. You don't need anything piney. Go to citrusy. Anything citrusy usually won't have as much. I mean, you're gonna be dealing more with your limonene, your citroen. You're gonna deal more with your myrcene. So make sure to look at I mean, really look at your lineages. So any of the cannabis that I've told you about tonight that is great for tea, please do look up its direct lineages because that's how it's grown with Goldflower. And you can ask any one of the bud tenders, and they'll tell you what the crosses are, and they'll tell you what the dominant terpenes are, and what's there and what's not there. And that's why I trust the drivers and I trust the people in store. That's wild. Living in a place called Pinecrest Lake. Pinecrest Lake, and you're allergic to pine. Wow. Talk about torture on a daily basis growing up. Mom, Dad, I can't breathe. Shut up. You're perfectly fine. Complaining all the time. Breathe out of the other nostril. Pfft, kids, breathing. They ask for so much these days. Breathing. Mm. I have other things here to smoke, but I better not smoke too much. I have an early day tomorrow. I am hitting the streets of Ocala. Tannins for other wood would too. Yeah, probably the tannins would be messing with it as well, especially if you ever had wine and had something again the barrel aging, but without the pine, and you maybe got headaches almost immediately, nausea, dizziness, felt like you're on a boat, like you're a boat captain that has not ever done this before. Like I just can't. I'm bloody seasick. That happens to me with edibles. If I eat edibles with gelatin or gelatin, and no matter how much I even emaciate them, they break down in my body and get in my stomach and sit there. And then they release at the same time. And wow, it's it's oh, it's like I'm on Gilligan's cruise at the worst of their storm. And my mind and my stomach just don't work well together. But that for me is, I think, the gelatin, or it's the quick release of cannabis directly into the bloodstream. Um, Yeah. And keep in mind, at that point, I've probably taken like 4 or 5 gummies. And I'm like, "Pfft, these are nothing. They're doing nothing for me. And like the 6th one, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go sit on the couch. I think I can relax now. I don't know. But then I'll sleep well. But then I'll wake up very rough. So if I eat a lot of edibles the night before or the day before and I go to sleep, when I wake up, my body feels very rough, like I've had either a rough sleep or such a heavy sleep that I almost had to pull my muscles and pull my body out of it. So usually a good morning stretch will be great. Maybe I'll do an evening stretch tonight before laying down. And that's also delicious. Good evening stretch, quickie. But yeah, so great talk tonight, everybody. Great smoke sesh. I almost lit up another joint. Let me put this one. I was talking about something earlier and I completely flipping forgot, and I apologize. But I know we were talking about, look, we were talking about time. And I also wanted to talk about luck. And what is luck? I wanted to talk a little bit more about the matrix. Well, we have more to talk about on our next conversations. But while we're going to talk about those next conversations, and we were talking about that Israeli colonel that I know, or the Israeli general, that came out a couple of years ago about aliens and his disclosure from Israel, which again, I believe 1000%. That's what changed my life in my understanding of aliens. And I'll tell you, I always believed, but I didn't believe because I needed proof. When this guy came out, I know the person. He's salt of the flipping earth. He wouldn't lie. There's no reason. He's retired, has nothing to prove to anybody now. So, cannot wait to do it again. Awesome. Love that. Thank you. But I want you to think about time. I want you to think about the past, the present, and the future. And it's all right here. The past, the present, and the future. All right here. That's it. There is no time. None. It's created. It can be sped up. It can be slowed down. So as a kid, I learned 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago, I heard about these studies being done in Russia where I cannot recall the method, but these were recreated in the late 70s by the US government. And it was all about understanding the fabric of time. But that's not originally where the experiment started. Um, I love shit like this when it's proven right. So you can look this up, and it's a device. I wish the patent for it's out, but it's simple and complicated and crazy at the same time. It's an aluminum sheet that has been folded in a Fibonacci sequence, like a seashell, or like a certain kind of seashell, but like in a Fibonacci type of mathematical bending sequence. So it's been folded, and I've seen it two different ways. I've seen it where a chair sits in the middle of this big aluminum sheeting, polished aluminum, and I've seen it where somebody's laying down inside, like they lay down inside the unit, almost like a C-scan type of thingamabobby, but just this big aluminum sheet, and it's other components, not many at all. And so within the studies, the US government, or I think the Russian government, and keep in mind, these scientists wouldn't lie because they're working for the Russian government. You lie to the Russian government, the Russian government is going to get rid of you. You don't lie to the Russians. If the Russians are funding your project, then you fucking tell them the truth. Damn it, Russians. Okay. So some of the research studies in this project is that they were learning about the fabric of time. And studies were done on people living within rooms that were made I mean, this thing was upscaled to crazy levels, where aging did not happen, but was not capable for very long periods of time, until people got used to these rooms. Anyways, I'm rambling on about time, but long story short, people meditating within these rooms were then able to see through these rooms. And where they saw through is where they projected or studied or wanted to see to. And usually it would be in the past or in the future. And because those rooms allowed for the breakdown of what we have created as time and structure, there is no time, none. There is no solidity to our bodies. We're not solid. We're not actually here. The table in front of me, I'm not even touching it, which is wild. And look it up. It's all true. We are energy. And to see our true form or understand who we really are, what we really are, is so deep. So time is not real. It's a creation that we as a collective energy had come together and created. But why? And for what? For structure? To create something else? It's like, what is luck? It's created, it's manifested. There is no luck, but there is. Gambling. When people first get in the game, like the first time they gamble, and they're like, "Oh, you're lucky, your first time gambling, you're winning, because it's the luck of the the new gambler." So somebody who's been gambling has been gambling for a very long time, or any time, they're going to really try hard to win money, mentally and physically. They're going to try with all their essence and all their effort and all their ability and everything they know, they're going to put into winning. That's what they need to do. They're going to win. And they don't. And then you got this newbie that comes in and throws down their money and they win. And they're like, "Hey, I won." And they throw down their money and they win again. "I won." There's a yin and a yang. Somebody's yin would be up while the other yang is down. That's just how it works. But why is his up? He doesn't give a shit. He's never gambled before. He doesn't feel the stress of losing. He doesn't feel the stress of gambling large amounts to win large amounts. He's not trying that fucking hard. He's coming in to have fun and enjoy life and enjoy the opportunity to manifest more money. He's enjoying the opportunity to create An amazing, magical fucking experience. And that's what he's thinking. And he wins. And those that succumb to the pressure of gambling and push and push and push, only to lose. Maybe that's the trick of manifestation. Maybe we don't have to try so hard. I've enjoyed you guys tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed me as well. Thank you for coming to Highly Motivated Friday Smoke Sesh. Wow. I cannot believe Friday is already on us. Is it Friday? The fuck am I saying? What day is it today? Oh my God, it is Friday. Holy shit, it is Friday. I didn't even know it was Friday. I mean, I forgot. I knew it was Friday just now, but then I was so high, I actually forgot for a moment that it was fucking Friday. That's crazy. That's crazy. From my heart to yours, have an amazing weekend. Please be safe. Please be careful. My heart goes out to all the people that got flooded or dealing with grand travesties from the Hurricane Helene. Please be safe still. I hope your power comes back on soon. If it is not yet, I hope you've prepared yourself with some fresh water. I hope you're safe. And that's all I can hope for. I send you good, powerful energy and enthusiasm that things are going to get better. I feel it. I know it. I'm really hoping it. And I hope your weekend for all of you is some magic that you need it to be, that you want it to be, that you authentically create it to be. That's all we can be now. Life is short, you know? It's magical if you allow it to be. If you wear a mask your whole life, you're missing out on shit. If you wear a mask your whole life, you're trying so hard to be something else, something you don't need to be. You just need to be you. Like this show. If you like it, I'm glad you're here. If you're part of the vibe, I'm glad you're here. If you're part of the sesh, I'm glad you're here. So good night. Arrivederci. Do svidania. Auf Wiedersehen.